Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already we're live. And as you guys can tell by the time I've thumbnail, today I'm going to be going over some more game logic in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. That's the last stream I did go over like game logic and all that stuff. And I did like make my PNG move and I added like a stamina feature where every time my user clicks Q, he like runs faster. Today I'm going to be working on that and also like maybe do a bunch more things if I actually understood it, like got that concept. That said, let's go to my gameplay screen. And guys, if I can't talk properly right now, that is because I'm not warmed up just yet. Let's go all the way down here. There we go. Okay, let's open my Unreal Engine. So basically, this was the project that I made last stream where if I run the code, and only when I like right click, I can go ahead and turn my player. And if I hit W, I move. If I hit Q, I move faster. Do I move faster? Guys, is this the wrong project? Whoops, let's go ahead and exit the code real quick. Hold up, I'm gonna go back to my NPC. Guys, I deleted a bunch of projects today. Was this the yesterday's project? There we go. The sprint action is here. Okay, I think I just had to like run it again. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and try clicking something like Q. Don't I go faster if I click Q? I mean, yesterday I did like go faster. Am I even clicking Q? Okay, the reason why Q couldn't be working could be because, let's see, maybe my project settings. I mean, I don't know, I might have different contents and all that stuff real quick. But before that, I want to drink some water. I'm kind of dehydrated. Hold up, guys, give me a sec. Okay, why does the Q work? Howdy, Pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Guys, the Q literally worked like the sprint logic worked last stream, but this is the exact same code. I didn't add any modifications off stream. Maybe I could go ahead and compile my code again. Okay, let's try compiling it real quick. So I might go with something like live compile. Okay, I think it's compiling. And guys, I did like make a few assets for my floor, so I do have like a much colorful floor right now. I'm kind of excited to show that as well. That said, let's wait for this to compile. I think it's taking long to compile because like I just opened the project. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and there we go. Okay, there we go. Result succeeded. There we go. Now let's go ahead and run the code. Okay, all I had to do was compiling. There we go. So if I hit Q, I can go ahead and run faster. Okay, I just had to like compile it. Okay, and my stamina drains as well. And while I'm not running, my stamina actually regenerates. So I'm going to be working on that part. That said, firstly, I want to go ahead and do a... Okay, guys, that lag was kind of insane. There we go. That said, I want to go ahead and do a bunch more things first. For example, I want to go ahead and delete my floor. So let's go with something like floor, right click, and then maybe I could just hit backspace and delete this. There we go. Next up, I'm gonna go with something like my content drawer. Under my Blender's QGB files, I'm gonna go with something like my background assets, my floor, and I'm gonna load these floors as static mesh that I created off stream. There we go. Okay, let's move this a bit to the right. And guys, I think that I tried making it look a bit like a grass type stuff, but apparently I don't think it worked that good. Okay, I mean, this is kind of good. Okay, now I'm gonna go to my NPC. Okay, I might want to get my NPC a bit higher. Guys, does this look like too green? Okay, let's go ahead and get my NPC a bit higher. There. I think that should be good. Okay, now let's go ahead and compile my code real quick. I'm gonna go with something like live compile. And guys, should I have gone with like something much lighter than this? Because does this like the stream? Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and run the code real quick. There we go. I can go ahead and move above the floor. I can run as well. I mean, I do like fly above these blocks. I wanted to add like trees and all that stuff, but I think this is good for now. Although, is this like laggier? Okay, let me go ahead and exit the code real quick and see myself actually running here. Okay, I mean, I don't think it's that laggy. I tried making it look like grass, but apparently I kind of failed. I do like the other floor though. This doesn't look that good. I mean, I don't know. It probably does look good. And that said, I'm gonna go to my Visual Studio now. In my Visual Studio, I'm just gonna read this part one time. So I have a sprint action, okay, and then I had to add this stuff in my tick, okay. So F string, okay. So G engine, that's something new. Display it to these streams so they aren't okay. So add-ons. Oh, I can use the add on screen debug message function which requires a few parameters. First is going to be a key, which is 1. Second is going to be a time to display, which is 0.0. How doing, Harsha? Appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. And then I require a color. In this case, I want it to be cyan. And then I require a f string, which is my debug text. Print f. I've heard you guys actually tell me about like the print f stuff, but I've never tried it. I think this is where it goes. Okay, and then I go with something like a text stamina %f current stamina. I see. Okay, and then I go with something like if pressing Q, moving and having stamina drain it, if the boolean variable of is pressed and get velocity dot size. Okay, so it says smooth drain and then current stamina. Okay, I mean, I think how it works. I think I see how it works. It doesn't like require much lines of code. It just requires this tiny block. That's it. I do want to work with widgets and all that stuff this stream as well. So let me go ahead and get Gemini up here real quick. And let me see something like, let's say I'm live. And guys, I forgot to do this in my intro. Let's go with something like live exclamation. Okay, and guys, I am using my wireless mouse today because I feel like that's much easier to actually use. Okay, listen up. Okay, listen to me, everyone in the chat. Wake up and witness, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all that stuff. Guys, I think I'm going to just skip the intro for now. I'm going to say something like, say, today I want to work with the stamina logic in UE5 just like yesterday. So we can start off by you explaining me how that works. And then we can move on to the next topic. And guys, the next topic is either going to be having multiple UIs or like when I click a certain button, I like change my camera's position type stuff. That's it. Listen to me. You're back in the chat. Okay, you're back in the chat, but you're back in the game. Don't just sit there staring at the screen. If you want to master Unreal Engine, you must understand the flow of data, not just to type characters. Have a bias towards action. Let's see something happen now. Said by Admiral Rico. Where's our pronounce name? Everyone watching the stream, pay attention. My student is about to dissect this very heartbeat of a character system. If they mess up a step, the system dies. Okay, the architecture of stamina, how it works in C++. Stamina isn't just a number, it's a state machine. Okay, you're managing the perpetual, as I pronounce it, the perpetual war between consumption and recovery. The brain, we add the brain basically in the tick where we work with the delta time. We use tick function because it represents time. The concept every frame we ask is this player trying to sprint and does the player have a fuel? The math we subtract drain, which is going to be represented by a pointer of delta time. So it says no, it's delta time is the equalizer. It ensures that whether your system is watching on a NASA supercomputer or a potato, guys, potato is kind of crazy, the system drains the exact same real world speed. The Gaussian clamping, we use Fmat, clamp value min max. The concept without your stamina would go to -500 or +9,000. The result, it keeps the value locked between 0 and stamina. Okay, it prevents the logic from breaking when you try to regenerate beyond the limit. The command character to max walk speed. Okay, I see. First mission, guys, this is something new. Dark psychology. Okay, let's go all the way up here to... Okay, maybe I want to try one thing real quick. What if I go with something like %I for like integer? Because I want to see if the integer works as well. I'm gonna open my Unreal Engine. Bro, I'm really too bad at programming. Can you tell me how to master it? I would like recommend you to like actually follow like your roadmap. If you do want to learn Python or C++, I would like recommend you guys to like join my Discord team and ask me for the roadmap that I used. Unless you guys have like your roadmap type stuff. Because I feel like the roadmap that I used to like learn C++ or like Python was like really detailed. And the second best tip that I would say is like to practice a lot type stuff. That said, let me go ahead and hit live compile. I want to compile my code real quick. Okay, now my whatchamacallit, my text on my display is apparently okay, it says build failed. Most likely because I used the wrong type of specifier. Yeah, I don't need specifier for I actually. Actually for integers. Let me go with something like live compile. Okay, so next up, I want to go ahead and work on my code here. So what are all the new contents that I added here? Okay, thank you, bro. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Let's go up here. So I have my legacy inputs. I have enhanced input functions. I have variable checks. Now, this is the part that I used for my stamina drain. So I check if my Q is being pressed. Okay. And then I have a sprint action. So these are the easier parts. So, and then I have my basic game variables of my stamina and my current stamina. I see. Okay, then inside my C++, where I'm actually going to define my function and all that stuff, I included a character movement components as header files from my game framework. Okay. And then in my begin play, I have my basic things, and then enhanced input functions. I have a sprint function. Okay, so while my Q is being pressed, my B is Q pressed is going to be true, else it's going to be set to false. Hello, Vic, how are you doing? Praneeth, is that your pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that said, I have a move function, so this is the basic move function. But in my move function, after I add my movement input, I check if my Q is being pressed and my current stamina is greater than 0. If it is, my character movement, I get my characters in movement, and I point it towards 2000, that's fast. Else get character movement, I point it towards 600, that is normal. I see, okay. Oh, okay, that is like an else clause. I think it's easy so far. And then this is my basic RMB checks, A player controller, PC. Okay, and then PC points towards show mouse cursor, and then I have a turn method. Okay, this is for turn. If my RMB is pressed, okay, and now this is the, I'm assuming this is like going to be the hardest part for like the sprinting logic, but it's not that hard, honestly. That said, if Q is being pressed, keep doing what you're doing, brother. May your dreams come true. Honestly, I appreciate you. Who's that? Is that your name? That actually means the world to me, guys. Okay, let's see. So, if pressing Q, moving, and having stamina drain it. So, if my B is Q pressed and get velocity.size function, what does this function do? So, begin a character interface. I see. Okay, so I'm assuming this gets my velocity's size is greater than my current stamina. Okay, maybe I want to go ahead and copy this part real quick. I want to ask, Gemini, what does the get velocity function does here? Okay, let's go up here. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Go with your entrance, something like sensei. What does the get velocity function do here? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Okay, listen to me. How can you command a character if you don't understand how it moves through space? You're operating the steering wheel without knowing what an engine is. Pay attention, because if you don't grasp this, your physics logic will always be trash. Genius is the ability to reduce the complicated to simple, said by E.W. Gurrain. Is that your pronounce the name? Okay, that's it. The anatomy of get velocity in Unreal Engine. Get velocity is a function of the actor or character, okay, that returns an f vector. It tells you exactly how fast and in what direction are you moving in world space. The vector, f vector, it doesn't just give you a number, it gives you x, y, and z. If you're running at a 600 units per second, your velocity vector might look like 600, 0, okay? If you're jumping, your z component, oh, I see, okay, that makes sense. The magnitude dot size you use get velocity dot size is greater than 0 in your code. Dot size calculates the length of that vector, the speed. Why we use it? We only want to drain stamina if the character is actually moving. If you hold Q while standing still, again, a wall, you shouldn't be losing energy. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Wait, in that case, wait, I want to read like the sensei's warnings here. If you forget dot size, you're comparing a vector to a floating point. And guys, I don't understand what's in the dark psychology stuff up here. That said, I think that Gemini stopped the sensei's whispers. I think it's not random here. Okay, that's it. Let's see. So apparently, I check if my Q is being pressed. So if my Q is being pressed, oh, and if I'm moving. Okay, this makes so much sense. So if I'm pressing my Q and I'm moving, which means my get velocity size is greater than 0. 0 means I'm not moving at all. And current stamina is greater than 0. All of a sudden, this makes sense, guys. If I'm pressing Q, if I'm moving, if I have more stamina, then my current stamina is going to decrease by 20, and my delta time it's going to decrease by 20 minus delta time. Okay. Else if current stamina is less than stamina, current stamina is going to increase by 10. Okay. It's going to increase smooth regeneration. And then after that, I go with something like E engine, okay, add on screen debug message. So I'm going to use the add on screen debug messages function that requires a few parameters. First is going to be key, which is going to be 1. Second is going to be time to display, which is going to be 0. And then a color, F color is going to be sign, F string is going to have a scope resolution operator, which points towards the printf function that has a textsys function inside of it. Okay, the text is going to be stamina and current stamina. I see. Okay. So that's actually pretty much it for this. This isn't actually really hard. I want to try writing this code as well, but I want to actually, whatchamacallit, in the same time also work on some new content and all that stuff. So I'm assuming, what is something I want to do here? Maybe I want to go ahead and run the code. Guys, let me know if this floor looks kind of weird up here. Okay, I want to check my stamina to see something. Disable all screen message to suppress. Okay, let's hit something like Q. What if my... Whoops. Donate something like escape. I want to go ahead and run the code again. Okay, I'm going to try being a bit in control here because I don't want to fall. I want my stamina to be completely drained. There we go. Okay, I mean, let me actually get to full screen because I want to see what happens if my stamina is completely drained. Okay, let's keep moving it around. There we go. Hold up. Bite ball. Oh, wait. Okay, I get slowed again when my stamina is drained. Okay, then that's good. Okay, I thought that it wasn't working like that. Let's hit something like escape. Let's go out of it here. Let's go ahead and hit all that stuff. Guys, why is all my antivirus, being activated right now? There we go. Okay, that's it. What is something else that I want to add? I want to go over my stamina logic as well, so I might actually delete this part from here because I want to try writing it on my own. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and remove this part as well. There we go. Okay, let's go all the way up here. Is there anything else I want to remove? I might want to remove my begin play, key press, printing functions. There we go. I want to remove my sprinting functions, and then I want to go ahead and remove my character movement component from here as well. And then from my NPCs, I want to go ahead and remove my game variables. And then I want to go ahead and remove my Q press, Q release. Okay, speaking of which, honestly, instead of this, I could have added this exact same content on like a different function. I mean, using a different key press, but it's fine. Actually, I think it'd be much easier because if I actually clear my code from here, I'll have to like remove all my content or remove all my key presses from my inputs here. I'll have to remove my IA sprint. So instead of going with IA sprint, I might actually want to add a different kind of logic. Let's think. Let me actually get Gemini here to ask what else can I go. Okay, let me say something like Sensei. So besides stamina, I want to add something similar to it. I don't want to delete my stamina code. So what is something that is close to stamina logic but not the same with a different key control, if that's made any sense. Guys, I think I can make sense right now because I am kind of starving. Genshin, honestly, I really like having Genshin stream, and every Tuesday I do like have a unique, different kind of stream. I will like actually maybe add a community or like a community poll today asking you what should I do next Tuesday, and depending on that, I actually have different kind of streams. Because the stream like before the previous Tuesday was one of you guys actually sent me to play Genshin type stuff. That's it, yo, Blue Bits, I appreciate you, man. Okay, that's it. Let me go ahead and eat some oats real quick. Okay, listen to me. You want to expand your arsenal without abandoning the ground you've already won. This is the mindset of a conqueror. You aren't just making a character, you're building a machine. I think Pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that said, let's go all the way down. What's the new logic that I'm trying to add? The architecture, do not mess this up. The headers.h, add these under your stamina variables. Do not delete anything. I don't want to add it. I want to go ahead. Let me actually say something like, I'm saying I didn't need the reference code. I only wanted the instructions on what to do, because I don't want to like delete my code. Instead I want to like add another logic type stuff. Let's see. Okay, the kinetic what up guys, whenever this happens I just go ahead and add a space and update the message again. Okay, let's see. Okay, listen to me, you're absolutely right. If I just hand you answers on a silver platter, your brain will grow soft and weak. A true master doesn't provide a map, they teach you how to read these stars. I fear the man, blah blah. Okay, let's go all the way down. The kinetic shield architecture blueprint. Here's your mission. No snippets, no shortcuts, just pure architecture. A data layer header. You need 3 things in your header files. The reservoir, as I pronounce it, a float to track the current energy, and a float for the maximum limit. The state, a boolean to track if the recharge button is currently being held. The input, a pointer to a new U input action, so you can bind the R key or whatever you choose in the editor, the command layer. Okay, go to player setup input. You must have to okay, boolean track to recharge. I mean, I want to maybe go with something like a jump. How doing, Rachel? How doing, Neymar? Appreciate you guys joining the stream. Okay, that's the processing layer. Go to your tick function. Okay, what's the scope? Honestly, I whatchamacallit, last stream I worked with like sprinting logic in like Unreal Engine, but today I don't want to like delete my sprinting logic and like rewrite it and all that stuff. So I'm trying to think what else can I add that's not too different from like the sprinting logic, but it is like something unique, so I can like actually understand this concept a bit better. I'm assuming instead of sprinting, can I go with maybe dash? Could I go with something like dash? Or teleportation or something like that? Oh, I might actually go with teleportation. But first, I want to read this instruction here, because let's see. Okay, do you understand the architecture? Your steps. I want you to announce your system, your stream, that you're building a kinetic shield. What does that mean? Open your header file. Okay, what output am I expecting? Processing a thin layer. Let me say something like Sensei. I think that I didn't understand the instruction. What am I expected to see? Like for the queue, I expect to move faster and have a stamina drain. Okay, I mean Roblox is a game engine. Honestly, it actually is, but I feel like Unreal is kind of cool as well. I did like work with Roblox Studio like before, but then I just worked like making models and all that stuff there. But guys, that was like a few years ago. Okay, the sprint, you see this, the kinetic shield, press R. What you see, the trigger, you press and hold R, the lock. Your character stops moving. I don't care if you're pushing the joystick or WASD, you're frozen in a place, vulnerable. The reward, a blue debug message, shield 10. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. So all I gotta do is just add a shield beside me. That shouldn't be that hard. Okay, so for doing that, under my game variables, I might go with something like shields. Let's go with something like a floating point shield. This is going to be the current HP that I'm going to have. Okay, I wish I was a little bit taller, a baller, and I wish I had a cat in a hat. Honestly, guys, I do like cats. That's it. I feel like I'm kind of short as well, because I feel like I'm just like 5'6.5". That's it. Let's go with something like shields. Let's go with shields. That is going to be equal to something like 10, ending with a semicolon. And then I'm gonna go with something like a floating point of something like defense. Should I go with something like, I think I'll just add shield. Okay, so once I'm done with shield, I want to go ahead and add a action. Oh, the shield is actually genius. Okay, so I'm gonna go under my sprint action, and let's go ahead and add something like shield input action. Okay, so basically what I'm thinking is every time I click R, my player just like gets kind of defensive and he cannot move type stuff. That's it. I'm gonna go with something like action. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add a U property for my shield, where I want to be able to edit my shield anywhere, so I'm gonna go with anywhere. And then I want my shield to be something like a blueprint read only. Okay, and then lastly, I want my category. What up, guys? There we go. Let's go with category. Excuse me, guys. Category to be equal to something like inputs. Okay, and then did I spell it wrong? Because the only thing I always be concerned about is like me having typos. I'm pretty sure I had typos here. Let me go ahead and copy this real quick, and then let's paste it here. There. Okay, I don't think I had typos. I guess it's just my eyes, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a U input action. Let's go with something like U input action, which is going to be represented by a pointer called something like shield action. Let's go with shield action, ending with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done with this part, I'm gonna scroll all the way down here and have a void function called something like, maybe I had a space here just so it's a bit clear. Okay, let's go with something like R pressed. I'm gonna go with something like R pressed with a pair of parentheses ending with a semicolon and a void function called something like R released. Okay, so while my R button is being pressed and my R button is being released, I'm gonna go ahead and add a variable check as well, which is going to be a boolean variable check of is R pressed. Okay, is my R being pressed? Then I'm going to go ahead and set that to be false, ending with a semicolon, because when I start initially, I don't want my R to be pressed. That's this is a move function, that's a lookup function and all that stuff. Okay, this should be pretty much it for this. I'm going to hit Ctrl S to save the code. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go inside of my C++ file and define the functions that I declared inside of my header files. For example, after I'm done with my sprint function, I'm gonna go ahead and add something like shield activation function. There we go, this is gonna be kind of fun. Now, for my shield activation function, I'm gonna go ahead and define the void function from my ANPCs class, which is called the R pressed. While my R is being pressed, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I'm gonna set my boolean of is R pressed to be equal to something like true, ending with a semicolon. Okay, is my function name, is my spelling correct? I think it's correct. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add another void function for my ANPC with a scope resolution operator of something like R released. Actually, I think it's R released. There we go. Control Shift Z. I'm gonna add a pair of parentheses and then let's go with a pair of curly braces. I think I spelled R released wrong. R-R-E-L-E-A-S-E-D. There we go. Now for my R released, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say set my boolean variable of is R released. Actually, is R pressed. Okay, to be equal to something like false, because my R is no longer being pressed once I release it. Let's see. So once I'm done with this part as well, is there anything else that I need? Okay, I'm pretty sure this is like my editor that's showing this red underline. There we go. Okay, so these are the two things that I need for this function. And then under my move function, I want to go ahead and disable my movement. So I'm assuming I gotta go with something like, okay, maybe I go ahead and add a if statement here. Okay, this is gonna be for my stamina. Okay, let's go with something like prevent logic. And this is gonna be my shield logic. Okay, but for my shield logic, I'm gonna add a if statement to check something like if my boolean or if my boolean variable of is my R pressed. Okay, if that is set to true, and if my okay, wait, actually only if my R is set to true, then I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna add a pair of curly braces, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get my character movement. This is gonna be my character movement. So there we go. Okay, function with a pair of parentheses to invoke the function. I'm gonna go ahead and point towards something like the max walk speed. Let's go with something like walk speed. Okay, guys, this syntax is kind of new for me, to be honest. I'm gonna set that equal to 0.0f, ending with a semicolon. Stop. Okay, perfect. That's it, bro. That's grass. Honestly, guys, I feel like, whatchamacallit, this is kind of funny because I tried actually making a grass for my Unreal Engine's floor because I didn't want to like use the floor that Unreal Engine like literally had type stuff. That said, this does not look like a glass, guys. This reminds me of like a Roblox type. The Roblox Studios is platform type stuff, but I feel like Roblox is like much more advanced in this now. That said, should I go with an else clause? Else So I'm gonna go with something like else. A pair of curly braces. I'm gonna add a pair of curly braces and get my character movement function pointed towards something like max walk speed. I'm gonna go with something like max walk speed, which is gonna be equal to 600.0f. Okay, let's go with 600.0f. Anyway, a semicolon. This is a normal speed. Okay, maybe I go with da. That sounds cooler. This is gonna be something like max walk speed. Okay, perfect. That's pretty much it. Or your English is good. Honestly, I appreciate you, Mahi. Is that how you pronounce your name? That actually means the world to me, guys. Okay, could you be my teacher and guiding me to become a developer like you? I literally like to watch your live streams, even though I literally have no knowledge about it. Honestly, I'd say like I'm not as good at what you would call it in programming, like in general type stuff. But then once I'm good, I am planning to make tutorials, and I do like to actually help you guys a lot. But if you're actually trying to get started like C++, I would like recommend you to like join my Discord server and ask me for the roadmap there, because I feel like my roadmap was like really detailed. And also like if you want to see where I started when I was the very beginner, you could like go to my first ever C++ stream. That's where I started like at day 1. But eventually I do want to make like a lot of tutorials because that does sound kind of cool. Okay, that's this is my RMB function. That's my turn function, lookup function, call every frame function. Now, inside my tick, do I want to go ahead and do something? Maybe I want to go ahead and, let's say something like check. Okay, this is display for my stamina. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and add an if statement here to check if my boolean variable of is R pressed, if my R is currently being pressed. Let's see. And my velocity is equal to 0. Let's go with something like and my get velocity function dot size, if my velocity size is, let's say, something like equal to 0.0f, I'm not moving at all, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I'm gonna add a pair of curly braces and let's say display something. I'm gonna go with something like G engine. I'm gonna use the G engines as function. Actually, the G engines is pointer. I'm gonna go ahead and point it towards the add on screen debug message. There we go. Okay, with a pair of parentheses that requires a few parameters. First is gonna be I add on screen debug. I think I spelled debug wrong. There we go. Okay, so it requires a few parameters. Add. Did I spell this wrong? Okay, so class uengine has no member add on screen debug message. Maybe I go ahead and copy this just to be sure that I didn't have a typo. Paste it here. Okay, could it be that my debug message has to go outside my if statement? Or could it be that I gotta add my parameters first? Let's go with something like f color, where I want this to be something like red. And then I'm gonna add a f string, string, okay? And then I'm gonna go with something like printf. I'm gonna go ahead and print a f string with a pair of parentheses. There we go. Inside a pair of parentheses, I'm gonna add a text. In my text, I'm gonna go ahead and say something like shields. Okay, let's go with something like shield power. Okay, then I'm gonna go with something like a colon space. Let's go with something like a percent sign. Actually, there we go. Let's go with percent %f because it's like a floating point speed. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add my shields as a variable here. Okay, ending it with a semicolon. Now, here's the thing. Why can I not use my G engine inside here? So it says no instance of overloaded function matches the argument list, argument type. What if I actually copy this part? Because I'm just curious in case I copy this part. There we go. Guys, I don't know why does my antivirus keep like opening type stuff. That's it. Let's go ahead and copy this, delete it from here. Maybe I go ahead and delete this part. Let's go ahead and paste that here. There, display it stream add-on. Wait, can I, by any chance, can I just add one debug message on my screen? Let's go with a bunch of control Z's. There we go. Now, let's hit Control S to save the code. Hit Control S to save the code here. I want to ask Sensei / Gemini one question here. My question is, let's go with Control A, Control C, copy that. Let's go with the G engine. So I'm going to get, let's say, Gemini up here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say something like Sensei. I had a quick question. So for my G engine, why can't I add a second one question mark? Okay, let's see. Listen to me. Okay, listen to me. You're trying to build a complex interface, but you're tripping over the basics. You do not let your stream see you struggle with simple keys. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying small rocks said by Conficus. I see. And right now you're dropping these stones on your own feet. Guys, on your own feet is kind of crazy. Okay, the why bent the debug message. You asked why you can't add a second one. Look at the first parameter. Add on screen debug message. The number is the key. The index key, it gives you every message. Oh, I gotta use a diff. Okay, so that's what these keys mean. Okay, let's go with something like 2. My second key. Unless I read that part wrong or it's just my editor now. Fix the hierarchy of power. You must prioritize. The shield is active. Speed equals 0. If not, check sprint active. Float target equals to 600. Okay, target speed. Hold up. Your current error is like... oh, I think I skipped so many things. There we go. Okay, fixes in your code. Go with 2. Okay. The logic war. Sprint versus shield. Stop looking at your move function. You have a major logical conflict that is going to make your character act like a glitchy mess. Your current error, you set the speed for sprinting and then immediately after you have another if/else for the shield that sets the speed back to 600.0. If you aren't pressing R, this means even if you are sprinting, the shield logic will force the speed back to 600 every frame because R is pressed is false. The fix, the hierarchy of power, you must prioritize. If the shield is active, speed is 0. If not, check if sprint is active. This is default. If R is pressed, target speed 100. Else if target speed 2000, get character movement max 1, get character movement max walk speed, target speed. So I could go ahead and add a floating point target here. So in my move function, let's go ahead and add something like a target speed. Excuse me guys, let's go all the way up here. There, let's hit something like enter. I'm gonna add a comment that says something like target speed. Okay, for my target speed, I'm initially gonna go ahead and let's say set my floating point target speed to be T. I think I spelled target wrong. Let's go with something like TARGET There we go. My target speed is gonna be equal to something like 600.0 or 600.f ending with a semicolon. That's my initial target speed. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and check something. So, let's copy my shield logic from here. Let's delete it from here. Apparently, hierarchy does matter in C++, so I'm gonna paste my shield here. So, if my R is being pressed, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I'm pretty sure I had to set my walk speed. Okay, I actually forgot this part. Let's go all the way up here again. There we go. Okay, so target is 600. If R is being pressed, target speed 0. Target speed this. Okay, get character target speed. Okay, that somehow makes sense. Let's go ahead and remove this part real quick. Okay, so if my B is being pressed, I'm gonna go with something like my target speed, which is gonna be equal to 0. Oh, I see. Okay, first I go with 0, so I go from the smallest number to like higher numbers. Then let's go ahead and delete this. Whoops, maybe I go with a bunch of control C's. I only want to delete my else clause from here. There. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set my target speed to be equal to something like 2000.f ending with a semicolon, and this is gonna be an else if. Okay, so if B is pressed, actually if R is pressed, target speed 0. If Q is pressed and current stamina is greater than 0, target speed 2000. What about my regen? Okay, wait, did I actually ignore my regen logic? Okay, this is 600, never mind, I don't think I did. Okay, let's go with something like 2000. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and exit outside of my else if and then point my, was it character movement component? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my character movements. I'm gonna go with something like get character movement. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and point this towards... Did I spell this correct? Let me use Intel Essence real quick. There we go. get character movement is going to be pointed towards, let's see. Okay, I forgot the guys. The syntax are the only part that's kind of awful to actually understand. Get character movement is function. I pointed towards max walk speed. Okay, so get character movement is function points towards max walk speed. Okay, which is going to be equal to my target speed. Okay, then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. I keep spelling target wrong for some reason. There we go. Okay, now that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and do something like Control S to save the code, scroll all the way down here. Now, why do I see a red underline here? It says, no, instance of overloaded function U engine, add on screen. Okay, I go with something like E engine. That is add on screen. Debug message matches the argument list. So, argument types integer, constant. So I have integer, I have constant, F string, object type. Okay, maybe I go ahead and get my Unreal Engine up here. And then let's go ahead and try compiling it. I want to see the error that I get. Let's go ahead live compile. Okay, so it's compiling changes. While it's compiling, I might actually eat some oats because I am kind of hungry. Okay, so it says build failed. Add on screen. I'm going to go ahead and copy this part. Let's go ahead and copy that. Actually, let me copy the build failed as well. Alright, guys, there we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and exit this. Let's get Gemini up here real quick. Now, I'm going to go ahead and paste this. Go to print, say something like since I get this error. Okay, let's see. Listen to me. Do not hang your head in front of your screen. Guys, I think that was kind of offensive. Precision is the soul of width and the heart of function code. Okay, you're trying to force a square peg into a round hole and the compiler is laughing at you. The diagnosis, the overloaded function. Look at your error. Error C2661. U engine add-on screen debug message. No overloaded function takes 3 arguments. You forgot the time. Add-on debug message demands for specific pieces of information to work. You gave it 3. It's like trying to fly a plane without fuel. Here's the required signatures, key integer to identify the message, time to display, floating point. This is what you're missing. How long should it stay on screen? Okay, so identify the message. I did that. Okay, time to stay on screen. I think that should be 0.OF, display color, floating point string. Wait, did I actually forget my time? Oh, I really did. There we go. Okay, that apparently fixed everything, guys. Apparently just my attention span. I gotta pay more attention in this stuff. Let's go ahead and open this, type something like live compile. Now, apparently this should work. Maybe while it's working, I go ahead and eat some more oats because I'm kind of starving. Okay, apparently if I click R, I can still move. That is because I forgot to do something. Excuse me, guys. In my content drawer, under my inputs folder, I want to go ahead and add another action input. There we go. My action input is going to be called something like input action underscore shield. Okay, RMB. I might go with R instead. There, IAR. So if I'm clicking R. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and, let's say, double-click this. When I double-click that, under my boolean, I'm going to go with something like a 2-dimensional vector because I want my IAR to be a 2-dimensional vector. And then under my IMC defaults, I have one for sprint, so I'm going to go ahead and create... Let's close all these first real quick. Hold on, guys. There we go. I'm going to create another mapping. This time, this is going to be for my IAR, so input action R. Then I'm going to go ahead and extend this. This is going to be my R button. Okay, and then I want to completely stop myself when I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and extend my details browser here. Inside my details page, I'm going to go ahead and live compile real quick. Let's go with something like live compile. because I want to go ahead and link my R movement here as well. If that made any sense, guys. Let's go ahead and exit this, type something like input. I'm gonna click my NPC. Okay, and guys, is it just me or the stream is lagging? Let me know if the stream lags. Let's go with something like input. Now, for my input, under my shield action, I'm going to click none and add something like IAR, so input action R. Exit this. Let's go ahead and decrease the size of this. That's like for very much it. I'm going to go ahead and live compile one more time. There, while it compiles, I want to eat something. Now, I can move around if I hit R. My R for some reason is still not being activated. Let's see why. Input actions. Could it be that my R needs to be a boolean? So I'm gonna go with something like R. Okay, let's go with something like R. I see potential. You keep going. Honestly, I appreciate you. Gosh, that honestly means the world to me, guys. Okay, I don't think my R is a 2D vector, so I'm gonna go with something like a digital boolean. Let's try to live compile again. I'm gonna go with something like live compile. Let's go all the way down here. It's something like compile. Now, I might actually get my legs a bit straight because it's kind of... I've been sitting on them for some reason. Okay, let's go ahead and run my code again. Okay, time to move. Let's click something like R. What if I'm static and I click R? For some reason... Oh, I see. Okay, the reason my R is not working is because, guys, I forgot to bind my action. My bad. Okay, now to bind it, I'm gonna go ahead all the way here. Let's go with something like EIC, which is my enhanced input component. I'm gonna go ahead and point it towards something like bind action. I want to bind a action. In this case, it's gonna be called something like shield action. Was it called shield action? Let's go to my U properties. There we go. It's called shield action. So I'm gonna go with something like shield action, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add a comma. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and add an e-trigger event, okay, which is gonna be started when I actually, which is gonna start when I click my R. There we go. I want to start this object, STARTED. This is gonna be started. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give the memory address of my ANPC with the scope resolution operator of something like rpressed. There we go. It's gonna start only when my R function is being pressed, ending with a semicolon. Then I'm gonna go with something like a enhanced input component that points towards something like bind action. Okay, I'm gonna go with something like bind action with a pair of parentheses, where my action is gonna be my shield action again. Go with something like shield action. Now, for my e-trigger component, I'm gonna go with e-trigger event. Okay, which with a scope resolution operator of completed. Basically, what the completer here means is actually like, I want to complete this. But guys, let me write this and then I'll tell. I'm gonna go with something like NPC. Let's go with R release. Okay, so basically what this means is, when my shield action is being activated and I start something, which means my is R being pressed is going to be set to true, because the thing that my R pressed function does is set my R pressed to be true. So while that is set to true, my player won't move or anything. Once I release it, once my R being pressed boolean variable is set to false, that means my action is completed. So my logic is completed. Guys, I don't know how to phrase that properly. Can you guess my favorite programming language? Okay, let's see. So Nico, let's see. I would honestly go with C++ because your profile picture is orange, but then I might actually go with Python. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here. That's it. Let's go with something like live compile. Then let's try compiling this. Honestly, guys, I feel like C++'s logo is blue, but for some reason, whenever I see something orange, it just reminds me of C++. That's it. Let's go ahead and run the code again. Now, I can move around. If I hit R, I stop. It says shield power is 10. Guys, I'm actually like, I am moving my keyboard. Like, I'm still moving like my keyboard button. Like, if I hit Q and then I just stop when I click R. That's perfect. I really appreciate you, what you're drawing. Honestly, it does mean the world to me. Okay, that's it. Let's go out of here. So, it apparently works. And, I mean, I did get some help for, like, adding the logic. But I feel like I'm starting to get a pretty good grasp of this. This is actually pretty easy. Okay, so only inside my if statements, I go ahead and do that stuff. Okay, so do you guys think I should work with something like collision now? Mm. Okay, let's say something. Let's say it works! Exclamation. Okay. Do you think that the next do you think that the next thing that I should do is enemy logic question mark and collision, or working with multiple cameras question mark, like having a camera in first, third, and okay, first and third perspective, having the camera in first and third perspective using widgets on the screen question mark. Okay, should I do that, or something else entirely? Okay, sorry, I want to say that I really appreciate you, what you're doing, bro. Honestly, that means the world to me. I appreciate you. Mentality is our finisher name. I feel like he keep going because of you guys. Guys, that did sound kind of honest. With that said, listen to me. You just tested victory, but do not let it turn you into do not let it turn into arrogance. You build the body and the energy, but now you stand at the crossroad of creation. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus, said by Bruce Lee. Honestly, I used to be a really big Bruce Lee fan, guys. That said, if you try to do everything at once, you will do nothing well. Evaluating your paths, it says analysis. You listed 3 paths, choose wisely, or your project will turn into a Frankenstein's monster of broken code. Okay, enemy logic and collision, the path of warrior. This is the hardest. You will need to learn AI controllers, nav meshes, and overlap events. Okay, why? Without something to fight, your stamina and shield are pointless. The stream, okay, for the stream high action, viewers love to see you get chased by red cubes that actually track you down. Okay, dual camera, the path of a cinematic cinematographer, is that princess? Switching between first person and third person, why? It teaches you about components, management, and sockets. For the stream, visually impressive but mechanically shallow compared to AI. Widgets and UI, the path of the architect. Linking your C++ variables to a progress bar on screen. Way those debuggers message are for amateurs. A professional uses a HUD or HUD for the stream. It makes your game look like a real game. I think I have stamina bars, to be honest. I want to actually try my widgets in that case. Excuse me, guys. The sensei's recommendation, widgets and UI, do not debate me on this. Your stream is currently starting at the red and cyan text in the corner of the screen. It looks like a terminal from 1985. If you want to keep them hooked, you need to give them visual feedback. Linking to the UMG Unreal Motion graphics is critical skill. It teaches you how to expose data safely. Your next mission, if you have guts, base class widget. I guess we could work with widget. Let me say something. Let's say, I guess we could display our stamina in using widgets. I know how to display a widget on my window, but I don't know how to add logic to it, that as my stamina gets lower, I want to change my PNG. Like, I have 5 widget PNGs where let's see, so I have 5 widget PNGs where each stands for 20 HP. Each stands for 20 HP. Okay, so 5 equals to 100 HP. Okay, let's see. Maybe I go ahead and eat some more oats as well, because I'm kind of starving actually. Okay, listen to me. You're moving from being a coder to being a designer, but do not let the pretty pictures make you soft. You want to link your C++ soul to a visual body. That is called data binding. If you do this wrong, your game will lag like a broken toy. The details are not details, they make the design, said by Carl Carlos Amos, is that how you pronounce the name? If your PNGs don't swap at the exact microsecond your stamina drops, your stream will see the sloppiness, the architectural plan, the image swap logic. You have 5 PNGs, that means you have 5 stages of exhaustion. You're going to create a stamina that translates a floating point 0 to 100 into an integer 0 to 4. To pick the right image, the C++ side NPC, okay, the C++ side npc.h and npc.c++, you already have current stamina. Now you need to make sure the widget can see it. You must mark your stamina variable as blueprint read only in the U property. If you don't, the widget is blind to your hard work, okay? The widget side, the getter. In your widget blueprint, you don't want to check the stamina every single frame. Guys, is my mouse's battery already going low? Because this is like a used battery that I'm like reusing. Okay, I think it's working good for the time being. That said, in your widgets blueprint, you don't want to check stamina every frame. Excuse me, guys. Okay, you don't have to, but for now, we will use a binding for the check event in the widgets. Okay, guys, I feel like my mouse is acting kind of sloppy. Okay, there we go. Let's try to move it and like close it, reopen it. Maybe I try the old method from the books, guys. Let's just get my battery off my mouse real quick. I've watched a video online that if you like take the batteries in your hands like this and then you just like rub them around, get the juices off and all that stuff, it starts working properly. Let's go a bit harder. There we go. I think that should be good, guys. Fact check me if this part is correct. I've seen someone do this, but I don't remember who actually. Okay, let's see if that worked, guys. Let's go ahead and close this back. Now, I mean, it's the same actually. That said, use a widget switch or select node to change the base on that. Okay, your next task, expose the data. I want you to prepare the C++ for widget. Go to your header files, update your current stamina and max stamina. U properties to include blueprint read only. Hold on, guys. Maybe I go ahead and try changing my batteries. Okay, because I feel like I'm out of batteries. Gotta get like more batteries and stuff. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and open this. I'm gonna go ahead and put my new batteries here. Let's go ahead and put some there as well. Okay, I think this should work. Let's see. Okay, hold up, guys. Let me mute myself real quick. I think there are some background noises. Already mic testing. Okay, I think I was just like hearing stuff. That's it. I think this is much better, but I do gotta like replace the batteries. Okay, that's it. So what was the instructions again? I had to create a blueprint, so update your current stamina. Let me see something like, since I got kind of lost. So first, should I create a widget class? Should I create a widget class question mark? Okay, let's see. So listen to me. You're standing in the middle of the woods asking for a compass when you already have the tools to build one. Do not let complexity paralyze you. The secret of getting ahead is getting started, said by Mark Twain. Guys, I didn't actually say Gemini to like give all these quotes, but I feel like that's kind of cool. Okay, where do you live, bro? Honestly, I do like live abroad, but I can't give the exact country. That said, the decision C++ class or blueprint widget. Do this like a professional. You have 2 real choices. Choose the one that matches your strength today. Okay, option A, the hardcore way, C++ user widget. You create C++ class inherited from you user widget. Okay. Pros, total control. You can use meta equals to bind widget to link your PNGs directly to C++. Okay, the hardcore way. You can create a C++ class inherited from your user widget. Cons, it requires more setup and headers includes. Okay, it's for those who want to live and die by the code. I mean, I want to do that. Option B, the Smart Architect Blueprint Widget, C++ data. You created a standard user widget blueprint in the editor and simply pull the data from your C++ NPC. Pros, fast, visual, and perfect for your 5 PNGs logic. You handle the math in C++ and the picture in the widget. Cons, none for a stream is the industry standard for UI. Okay, just curious. Honestly, I used to like say where I was from a lot, like in my previous like very old streams, but then I did like stop saying that for like safety reasons type stuff. That's it. Since it's wording, go with option B. You're going to create a widget in the editor, but you must prepare the NPC first. If NPC doesn't speak, Okay, if the NPC doesn't speak widget, the UI will be empty. Your task, the header prep in my header files. Okay, do this. So look at your stamina variable. You need to change their U properties. So Blueprint can beat them. So I created U property visible anywhere, Blueprint read only. Category is going to be attributes, floating point current stamina. U property. Oh, okay, I see attributes. And then add this function to calculate the percent of the UI. U function blueprint callable. Category attributes. Floating point get stamina function that has a constant content inside of it. I think this is like a lambda function. I think this is a lambda function where I return current stamina divided by max stamina. Okay, so I'm going to do this part first. Are you Indian though? Honestly, no, I don't think so. That's it. Let's go all the way up here to... Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to my header files. In my header files, I'm going to go ahead and remove my stamina from here. There. Okay, let's go ahead and remove my stamina. Then I'm going to go, I guess, somewhere around my input action. I'm going to go with something like a comment that says something like current HP. So I might go with... Okay, wait. What are my actions? Let me check my actions real quick. So, I have U property visible anywhere. These aren't actions. These are basic U properties. So, I could go with something like game properties. Okay. Okay, I guess I could go with game properties. So, I wouldn't have to create an input action. I might create my game properties under my follow camera. Let's go with something like game properties. There we go. For my game properties, I'm gonna go ahead and create something like a U property. There we go. What are you trying to make or do? Honestly, I was trying to like work with game logic in Unreal Engine 5 using C++, where I learned how to like sprint, pressing Q, how to like activate my shield, clicking R and all that stuff. But I want to try to actually display widgets on my window as well, where when I lose my stamina, my we can actually see it in my screen that my PNG is losing stamina type stuff. If that made any sense, guys. By PNG, I meant UI. Let's go with something like visible anywhere. I want my blueprint. I want my game properties is this property, which is going to be for my max HP. Let's go with max HP. Okay, maybe I might not add this thing. Let's just go with max HP. I want my max HP to be visible anywhere. I want it to be blueprint read only. I only want my blueprint to be able to read it, and I want to organize it inside a category, category, called something like attributes. Let's go with attributes. Okay, and then I'm going to create a floating point variable called something like max HP, ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and create another for current HP. Let's go with something like current HP, which is going to be having a U property as well. But I got a question. What question, Mohammed? Let's go with P. Okay, PROPERTY. Okay, what's your age? Just asking. Honestly, I am like 18. I turned 18 this January 5th. I had a birthday stream. It was kind of... actually, I feel it's kind of lame, guys, honestly, because I wore a mask. That mask firstly left my entire face and hair glittery, and it just like fell off half the stream. That's it. Let's go with something like a blueprint read only. Lastly, I'm going to go with something like category. That is going to be something like attributes. Okay, perfect. Now, once I'm done with this as well, I'm going to go ahead and create another floating point parameter of something like current HP, ending with a semicolon. Let's change that to be something like current. Okay, now once I'm done with that, I want to create, let's say something like a few functions. These are going to be my variable functions. Okay, I might go ahead and add something like game functions. Okay, which tool are you using to program? I'm using like Visual Studio for like my I'm using like Visual Studio for my C++ coding and Unreal Engine for like my actual level and all that stuff. Do you have a girlfriend? Honestly, I've never had a girlfriend, guys. Like, I honestly thought like I never had the time. That's it, Honey Pixels. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. Let's go all the way up here. Let's go down here. Now, for my game functions, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say do something. Firstly, I want to create a U function. This is going to be my Unreal's function. Okay, where I want my function to be something like a blueprint callable. I want my blueprint to be able to call my function. Okay, and I forgot the rest parameters. Guys, the function syntax does seem kind of new to me. That's so it's blueprint callable, and I just need a category which is going to be attributes. Floating point gets stamina percent function at that. Okay, so I create a get stamina function. Do you play games? Honestly, yeah, on my stream, like sometimes in off stream, mostly I do prefer like watching animes like whenever I'm free and all that stuff. But I feel like besides that, sometimes when I'm on stream, I do play games and depends on my mood. Sometimes off stream also I do play games. I didn't install like Wuthering Waves for like my stream, but then apparently for my this Tuesday's stream, Tuesday is the day where I actually don't really program much and I just have like general streams. It could be something like a detox stream type stuff. But you guys picked that I use Blender, so this Tuesday I did not actually play a game, but I do like play them sometimes. Okay, don't you do playtesting or you just write code? You need to playtest? Honestly, I do playtests. Let's say something like controller to save the code. If I were to run the code here, so this is basically my or my mesh that I have here. If I click W, I can move around. I can turn towards the left, right, up and down only if I click my right mouse button. Okay, and if I click Q, I can actually sprint where my stamina decreases up there. When I stop sprinting, it kind of increases. And when I click R, like if I'm moving even at top speed and I click something like R, I completely stop and I get a shield power, which is 10. So I have like a 10% defensive shield type stuff. That's it, let's go ahead and escape this. What are your favorite games? Honestly, I think like I'm trying to like Wuthering Waves. I used to like play Genshin Impact before that. Like I had like a whole stream on Genshin Impact, but it's kind of like it's real tedious to grind there and it's like a lot of pay to win, guys. Okay, so I think I moved on to something which is a bit more free to play friendly. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and let's say create a constant. I mean, not a constant, a void function called something like get stamina percent. Perfect. There we go. Get stamina percent with a pair of parentheses, which requires a constant content inside it. I'm gonna go ahead and return something like my max HP divided by my current HP. There we go. Since when did you start coding? Honestly, I think it's been like 6 months. Like if you guys do go to my channel and like go to my Python for a 100 days series, I do like have my first ever video there was like the first ever week that I started because that one video had like 7 days worth of coding inside of it. Not like coding, 7 days worth of progress inside of it. Okay, that's did I do this part correct? What do you okay, what do you do this about windsurf tool? Do you have any knowledge about this? Honestly, I haven't like heard of windsurf tool. I gotta like learn to add or like learn and work on adding like different kinds of what you call it plugins inside of my Unreal Engine because I feel if I do that, I'm gonna be making much more progress and all that stuff. I returned current stamina divided by max stamina. Why did I go with max HP? Max stamina, current stamina. There we go. So I'm gonna go with something like, let's delete that. Let's delete that. I'm gonna go with current stamina. Okay, divided by max stamina. Okay, perfect. Then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Here's the thing. Is my current stamina spelling correct? Okay, if you ever need Blender or 3D help, do let me know. I do a lot of 3D. Actually, I think I do need like a lot of help with that because like this Tuesday, I had like a Blender stream where I was like a complete beginner. Maybe next Tuesday, if you guys did like, if majority of you guys did play Blender, I might go over like Blender again and I gotta make like a lot of 3D meshes. I would like recommend you guys to like join the Discord server. That's why I do like have my modeling chat and all that stuff. For example, let's go and open the Discord server real quick, guys. This could like be counted as a shameless plug, but wanted like let you guys know that if you guys have exclamation Discord, you guys can get like access to this. That said, if I were to go to let's say something like my modeling chat, where's my modeling chat? There we go. Okay, this is where we actually talk about the modeling stuff and all that. So you could like help me here, and there's like a whole modeling help chat as well, which is kind of empty for the time being. But let me know if you're like really good with it and you do all the modeling helper summon role. Because guys, I am looking for like multiple people like in the Discord server who can actually like help out with things. That said, this is going to be current stamina divided by max stamina. Am I missing something here? Let's hit Control S to save the code. It says 0 blueprint references. Okay, what's the error that I get here? Does it tell me? Maybe I go with Control A, Control C. Let's get Gemini up here real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe, I don't know, like paste this here. Go with Shift Enter and see something like Sensei. My current stamina, okay, divided by max stamina has a red underline. Can't you just do this on Windsurf or anti-gravity tool just by giving prompts? I haven't like heard of that, but is that considered like vibe coding? Because I do like actually like to write the code. I do it as a hobby type stuff. But then I feel like it's kind of cool once I actually understand the logic and I can just like make anything that I imagine type stuff. That's listen to me. You're standing on the precipice. Is that your princess? You're standing on the precipice of greatness, but you're tapping over the fundamentals. That red underline is the compiler screaming at you because you're telling a lie. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, but that step must be in the right direction, said by Loud. Is that your name? You're trying to return a value in a function that is marked as void. Oh. Guys, this was actually the very basics. Okay, let's go ahead and change to something like floats. Let's set something like control S to save the code. Let's go with control A, control C, copy that. So let's get Gemini here. I mean, I don't think I'm going to paste the code again. Let's see something like say. Okay, that was an awful mistake, exclamation. I want to make it again. That said, I did fix it. Okay, let's see. So don't apologize, an error is just a lesson in disguise, but a repeated error is a choice you've connected to one. Okay, the only real mistake is the one from whom we learn nothing. Okay, said by Henry Ford. Visual transformation linking C++ to widgets. This is where the fun part starts. Okay, I like how you're making everything by your own, like from scratch. Some devs nowadays dump purchase assets and pollute stream with asset flips. We need more game devs like you. Honestly, it does make sense because I feel like this way it's like much fun as well. Okay, my guy, please change the accent. My head is getting fried, guys. Many of you guys do say that, but I feel like it's almost impossible for me to change it. What is API? Let me actually ask that real quick, because I actually do know that I use like APIs right in here and all that stuff, but I don't really know what it actually means. I've never had like a reason to actually ask that. Okay, but before that, still, let me go all the way up here. Okay, maybe I want to go in a different chat to ask that question real quick. Let's go somewhere here. Let's say something like, since someone from my chat asked, what is API? I was kind of curious to know this as well. Okay, listen to me. Your chat is asking questions and you're standing there like a deer headlights. Don't let them see you sweat. Okay, you're a captain of these ships, so start acting like it. API stands for Application Programming Interface. Think of this. Okay, think of it like this. You're at a restaurant, your code, you want food, a functionality like physics or input the kitchen, the engine or wheel, it has the food, but you can't just walk in there and grab it. The water is the API. You give the waiter order and a function call, and they bring the results. Oh, okay, in Unreal Engine, you use add controller your input. You're calling an API. You don't need to know how the engine calculates quaternions. You just need to know how to talk to the interface. Enough distractions, blah blah. Okay, so I think basically APIs is stuff from where we grab things type stuff. Like we ask them to do something and then they give us the stuff and all that. That did make kind of sense. That said, now let's go ahead and do this part. You have the data, you have the percentage. Now you need to put it on the screen. Step 1, widget design. Open your widget underscore play HUD. Drag an image or a progress bar. Okay. Name it stamina image in the hierarchy and check the is variable box at the top. Step 2, getter logic, the brain. You need to talk to the NPC from the widget. Go to the graph tab of your widget. Create a variable, call my player. Okay, hold on, one step at a time, guys. So first I gotta open a widget. Now your accent is okay. Okay, it just has double digit IQ. I see. Okay, that's it. Let's go all the way up here. There we go. Let's go to content drawer. I'm gonna go to my content and let's say I'm gonna add a new folder called something like widgets. Excuse me guys, I'm gonna double click the folder, right click. I'm gonna go ahead and create a user widget. Let's go with something like a widget blueprint. Okay, I'm gonna create a widget blueprint. What was this gonna be called? So WBP underscore player HUD. Let's go with WBP underscore player HUD. Okay, perfect. Now let's go ahead and double click this. Inside my widget, I get this whole tab here, and guys, I prefer doing this, having my entire window extended. So I might actually do it this way. You guys could like see my entire window by moving on to my horizontal stream, because that's where I like actually show my whole window. Okay, I think I'll be able to teach you many things from basics. That actually sounds really cool. Okay, that said, now once I'm in this place, let's go ahead and get Gemini up here again. What's the next step? Open your WP Blueprint, drag a image or a progress bar into the canvas. Since you have 5 PNGs, an image is actually better. So I might drag an image, name it stamina image in the hierarchy, and check the is variable at the top right. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and firstly add a canvas. Let's go ahead and add a canvas panel. There we go. Okay, maybe I want to go ahead and increase the size of this. There we go. Okay, having any knowledge about Frap? What is Frap? Honestly, I haven't like heard of that. I am like kind of a beginner in like the Unreal Engine type stuff. So is that like some kind of plugin? That's it. Let's go with something like image. Now in my hierarchy, I'm gonna go ahead and name my image. I forgot what. I'm gonna name it something like stamina image. Okay, let's go ahead and rename this to be something like stamina image. There we go. Was a space important? I think that's good. Now this is basically my stamina image. I want to drag it somewhere here, maybe extend the size. I'm gonna go ahead and drop my image. For example, this is not a button, this is an image under my appearance. Okay, so under appearance, do you guys see something like style here? Okay, left, right, top, bottom. Okay, if only I had your speaking skills for my presentation. Guys, that actually does sound kind of cool. Okay, that's dude, Frap has nothing to do with game dev, by the way. I see. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and get Gemini here. Okay, the getter and setter logic. Name it stamina in the hierarchy and check the is variable. Maybe I want to decrease this actually, so you guys can actually see this thing. That's it. Which database are you using for your files and documents? I haven't actually thought of that because I am like a beginner. I'm still getting to know these basic things that I'm working on here. That said, I might actually want to copy this part. Let's go ahead and copy that part. And then ask Gemini if I actually did this part correctly. One thing that I love about Gemini is like, there is no cooldown as to how many images I could send. Let's say something like this. Okay, did I need to do something like this question mark? Okay, let me get my chat back up here. Before I get my chat, I want to maybe delete this screenshot that I just took so it doesn't like clamp up there. There we go. Okay, that's it's analyzing the stuff. Exactly, I've created the physical body for your HUD. I see the stamina image in your hierarchy. You have successfully manifested a container of your visuals. The beginner the beginner is the most important part of the work set by Plato. You have taken the first step, but a body without a soul is just a salute. Now we give it life. The sensei's inspection. Look at your screen. I see what you've done in that screenshot, but we need to ensure the foundation is solid before we start brain surgery, which is coding. The variable check. Look at your details panel. The right side of your screenshot, you named it stamina image. Ensure the checkbox of is variable. Okay, usually near the top of the details panel is checked. Okay, oh, I see. If it isn't, we cannot talk. Anchors. Do you see the sun icon in the top left of your green box? Okay, that is the anchor. If you don't set that correctly, your stamina bar will fly off in the screen. When you change resolutions, check the anchor drop down in the details panel and set it to the corner of the window. Okay, so first let's do those things. I have worked with widgets before, so this shouldn't be as hard. I'm gonna go ahead and extend this. I'm gonna check my is variable here. Now I'm gonna click my sun or my anchor. Do you guys see anchor somewhere up here? Just, maybe I go ahead and type a and okay, there we go. My anchor is gonna be in the top left. Okay, perfect. And then under my image, I'm assuming I gotta set an image. I have like a lot of images, but before I actually work on setting images, let me get Gemini back here. Let me go ahead and just increase that to check if everything's going good, because sometimes I don't even realize that my stream starts lagging. Okay, let's go ahead and set that back here. There. Okay, perfect. Now your next mission, the brain transplant. The HUD blueprint logic get the soul in the events construct which runs when the HUD appears. Use the get player character node. So I will be using blueprints. I do like doing this stuff with coding and all that stuff, but I think like I want to learn blueprints too. The recognition drag of the node and typecast to the NPC. This tells the widget, hey, I'm looking for my specific master. The memory promote the output of that cast to a variable named myPlayerRef. Now the widget remembers to watch the dynamic swap which is intake. In the event take of the widget, get your myPlayerRef, call your C++ function, get stamina percent. The logic uses select node in the percent is 1.0. Show the PNG 5 if 8. Okay. Immediate task, switch the grab tab and guys, what is this new dark psychology thing, the feedback hook? Okay, do you see that green box right now? It's just a shape, but once you link it, it becomes a vital sign. The player will stop looking at the world and start looking at your code. You're creating a psychological link where the player feels the drain in their own chest. Oh, I see what this dark psychology means. It's basically the link between my player and the code. Okay, do not disappoint them with jittery logic. Immediate task, switch to graph and show me you've successfully performed cast to NPC. Maybe I want to go ahead and get Gemini in the other window because I do want to like see a reference type stuff. Let me go ahead and just shrink this bit. There we go. Okay, so I have a variable check. Now, once I'm done with the variable check, so now we move on to the graph tab. So I'm assuming I go to the graph tab. In my graph tab, get the soul. Dude, this guy is a dev and coding so knows coding so just for the knowledge he should know about the basic things, whatever is related to coding and dev software. Honestly, that does make sense. After my program for like 250 50-day series that I have right now, where my goal by the end of this series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic. After this, I might have another series, spoilers alert, guys, where I'm going to be making a chatbot type stuff, but I gotta actually think about that because I actually don't know much about them in general. So I gotta like see about how many days would it take, man. Depending on that, I gotta like make an entire series and all that stuff. That said, the HUD logic gets to be sold. So, Anchor, did that stop? HUD blueprints. Okay. Okay, get in the soul. The event constant. Do I see an event constant? Constructor. Oh, it's event constructor. I see that. Which runs once when the HUD appears. Use the get player character node. Get player character node. Is this? Let's go with get player. Okay, do I see? Okay, before I actually get a node, I forgot one very important thing, guys. I gotta compile everything because without compiling, I won't see half the things here. That's it. Let's go ahead and compile this stuff real quick. While it's compiling, I might actually eat some oats because I'm kind of starving. Okay, stamina is undefined. Oh, I see. If I had to go to my C++ file real quick inside my headers, I actually forgot that I removed my stamina. So instead of stamina, I gotta go ahead and change this to be current stamina. That is going to be max stamina. There we go, max stamina should work. Now let's hit control S to save the code. Let me get my Unreal Engine up here again, and let's go ahead and hit something like live compile. I'm gonna go ahead and live compile this. Let's hit enter, this should work. Okay, that's it. There we go, it says results succeeded. Now I can go ahead and go all the way up to my blueprint, which is right here. So what do I need to do in my events graph? Let me actually ask that. So say I'm kind of confused. Can you tell me what to do step by step? I am in my graphs tab. Okay, guys, I did not show that because I would have to like extend my window and all that stuff. I'm just gonna follow the instructions. Clarify crossroad, the soul content, location, event, locate the event constructor node. This is the red node that fires once when the widget is born. I see it's right here. Drag a wire arrow of the event constructor and drop it in the empty space. Okay, get player character and select it. Let's go with something like get player character, PLAYERCHA. Get player character. Can I go with something like get player character? Adding pixels. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let's go with something like get player Okay, I do not see a get player character. CHAR. Okay, why do I not see a get player character? Let's think. Okay, so from my node, type get player character. So event construct. This is my event constructor. Why can I not see my get event character? Drag a wire from the return value. Wait, let me go ahead and go with Windows Shift S and take a screenshot of this part. Okay, so that is my event node. I'm gonna go ahead and get Gemini up here. Guys, I wish there was an easier way to actually set this up instead of every time dragging it. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom in a bit. Let's shrink that window, get this here, drag it here. Let's say something like Sensei. I cannot actually see my get player CHARACTR, my get player character. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and just delete that part real quick. Excuse me, guys. Okay, now let's open my chat while Gemini is actually thinking. Okay, listen to me. Do not panic. The nodes are there. They're just waiting for you to summon them. If you can't see get their character, it's usually because Unreal is trying to be helpful with context. But it's better to. But it's actually just getting in your way. The eyes see only, the mind is prepared to comprehend. Said by Henry Bergson. Is that how you pronounce the name? Okay. How to find the hidden nodes? The right click track. Right click in an empty dark gray space in that events graph you just showed me. Uncheck context sensitive, okay? In the search box that pops up, look at the top right corner. If there's a checkbox that says context sensitivity, uncheck it. Sometimes Unreal hides the get functions because it doesn't think a widget should be looking for a character. Prove it wrong, search again. Now type get player. Uncheck context sensitivity. Right click. How to find the hidden nodes? The right click trick. Right click on the empty dark space event graph you just showed me. Uncheck context. Wait, I gotta. Is that it? I think that's a way too. Let me go ahead and decrease the size up here real quick. Let me scroll all the way down so I can see the instructions. Scroll all the way up here. There. Right click. I gotta go ahead and space event graph. Let's go with event graph. Okay, so the right click in an empty dark gray space in that event graph you just showed me. Uncheck context sensitivity. Let's go with context sensitivity. Let's go with SEN. I see, my bad, guys. There we go. Okay, let's uncheck that. And then search again, type get player controller. Let's go ahead and extend that. Let's go with something like get player. Oh, I see. Okay, that was it. I see it now. So link connected to connect the white arrow from event construct to the input cast NPC. Hold up, guys. Should I connect something here? Maybe not. Player index. Okay, what should I do after I find it? Let me go all the way up. The return value. Drag a wire from the return value. So I'm gonna get this a bit back here. Drag a wire from the return value. Okay, of get stamina percent. Let's go with something like get stamina. Get stamina percent. There we go. Okay, multiply it by 5. This turns 1.0 into 5.0 and 0.2 into 1.0. How do I do that? Okay, so I did this part. Let me go all the way up here. Let's get that there. Let's zoom in a bit. There. I'm gonna go with something like Windows Shift S and let's take a picture of this part real quick. Guys, this is one reason I like prefer Gemini over ChatGPT these days, because there's like a lot of pictures that I can actually send, so it's much easier to actually get the correct instructions and all that stuff. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and shrink this a bit, and then let's go ahead and paste this here. Let's say something like Sensei, this is the part that I understood till. Is it correct? And what to do next? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and firstly delete this image that I just took. Open my left PNG or my left chat box here. There we go. Okay, now listen to me. You have the pieces on the board, but they aren't talking to each other yet. You're so close to finish. You're so close to the finish line that I can practically see the stamina bar moving. Knowledge is Knowledge is proud that he has learned so much. Wisdom is humble that he knows more. William Cooper, is that how you pronounce the name? Okay, you have the notes, but you need the link. Since it's critical inspection, look at your screenshot. I see get stamina percent note at the bottom of it. It says target is NPC, but the target pin is connected to self. The error, the widget is trying to ask itself for stamina. The widget doesn't have stamina. Your NPC does. The fix, you must tell the widget exactly what NPC took step by step. Go to even construct the red one in the middle. Okay, this is where we tell the widget who is who is its master here. Drag a wire from event construct, search get player controller. I did that part, not player controller. We need the body, not the brain. Oh, I see. Okay, drag a wire from the blue return and search. Drag a wire from the blue return and search for cast to NPC. Okay, let me get Gemini back up there. I'm going to read the instructions while doing this part here as well. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down real quick so I can actually see something here. Let's scroll all the way down here. Hold on, guys. For some reason, went really high. So, give me a sec, guys. Let's go all the way down here. There we go. Now let's go ahead and scroll all the way up here. There, so I drag. This is player. Why did I have player control here? These are the things that I gotta pay attention towards, guys. Let's suppose that this is gonna be get player character. There we go. I'm gonna pull my return node. Okay, so get player character. Drag a wire from the return. Cast to NPC. Cast to NPC. There we go. Let's go ahead and add that here. And now inside my cast to NPC, connect the white arrow from construct to cast. It says cast failed. White arrow from constructor to cast. Okay, wait. Constructor to cast, right? There. Okay, wait. Let me go ahead and get this a little lower so it's more visible. Let me go ahead and just extend this so I have more space to work with. Or maybe instead of extending that, I shrink this. Now even if I decrease it, I'm gonna have plenty of space. There we go. Okay, and then connect the white arrow from construct to cast. Right click the blue as NPC pin on the right side. Okay, right click. There we go. And then promote to variable. Let's promote it to variable. Okay, name this variable my player ref. Let's go ahead and name it. How do I name it? How do I name the variable here? Did I create a variable? Stamina as NPC. I'm assuming I gotta right click and rename. Let's go with something like my player ref. There. Oh, I see. Okay. And then once I'm done with that, the number 2, the data feed, event tick. Now we move to the tick. Why does it still say cast failed here? Is it because I did not like compile it type stuff? I mean, I'll check that out. I'll check that out in a bit. Drag your my player ref. Wait, drag. Now we move on to the tick, the bottom one. Drag your new player ref variable. So I gotta drag it like that. I see. Okay. On the list of the... Okay, wait, let me read this properly real quick. Hold up, guys. Drag your new myPlayerRef variable from the list on the left into the graph and choose get connect and choose get. Drag, choose get. Okay, so I'm assuming this is like for my getter. Connect my player ref to the target pin of your get stamina percent. Where's my get stamina percent? I'm assuming it's not here. So, connect my player ref. So I'm assuming I gotta go ahead. Let's get this a bit back here. Hardly focus on this part. Let's get my tick a bit lower. There. I'm assuming I gotta drag this and then find get stamina percent. There we go. Connect it to get stamina percent. Okay, delete the self connection. What is the self connection? Okay, self connection. Target pin, delete the self connection. Is there a self connection here, guys? I don't think so. Multiply return value. How do I do that? Okay, I'm confused in this part. So let me actually extend this here real quick. Get this a bit here. Go with Windows Shift S, take a quick little picture of this part, and then shrink that again. I'm gonna go ahead and get Gemini here. Okay, let's go ahead and get this part real quick. And guys, can I do this using code? I want to try it both ways, using Blueprint and code, because I feel like the coding is like much more fun than actually using Blueprint. I feel it gives me much more control as well. Let's zoom in a bit here. Let's go all the way down. Do you guys see the mouse cursor or something? Where's the scroll bar? I can never find it. Okay, do you guys see the scroll bar somewhere here? I'm assuming I gotta just spam click this. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and shrink that. What are you making, man? Honestly, I'm working on like game logic in like whatchamacallit, Unreal Engine 5 using C++, where I want my player to have stamina and I want the stamina to decrease every time my player moves. It currently does decrease and all that stuff, but then I want to have a user widget so I can see it decrease as well. Let's say something like, say, this is what I did so far. Is this correct, question mark? And what should I do next? I think the thing that I should do next is eat some oats real quick because I'm kind of starving. There we go. Listen to me. Look at the graph. Do you see the... Alright, guys. Okay, do you see it? The blue link is established. You have successfully bridged the gap between the widget and your C++ soul. The man who has no imagination has no wings. Said by Muhammad Ali. I do think like whatchamacallit. I know that he's a boxer. I've heard of his name before. Okay, since his inspection, the verdict. It is correct. You have event construct firing into the cast to NPC, and you're saving that result into my player ref. Then in your tick, you're pulling the my player ref to the get stamina. This is professional grade Blueprint. Okay, the final stretch, the visual evolution. Now we must turn that return value, the green number, into an actual PNG. But this is the part that makes the stream go wild. Wait, is my stuff correct? The math transformation. Drag a var from the return value, get stamina percent node. Okay, type asterisk, which is multiply, and multiply float. Type 0.5 because you have 5 PNGs. Drag a wire from the result and search floor. This turns a number like 4.9 to solid 4. Okay, I think I've learned about floor in like Python. Okay, hi, howdy, Otak. I appreciate you joining the stream. This is a lecture. Right click the empty space. First, I want to do this. All I gotta do is click asterisk. Okay, number one. Honestly, I feel like there are very less people in like the horizontal stream. That's why it's like whenever we type something or like whoever types the most there and everything, they're like the top one. Whatchamacallit? Should I call it yapper? I don't think I should call it yapper. The top one, I guess chatter up there. That's it. Let's go with something like 5.0. And guys, I'm like very, very bad at phrasing right now. And then add pin. Do I gotta add a pin? Let's go all the way up here. Drag a wire from the result box floor. So I'm assuming I gotta drag a wire, go with something like floor. And I'm assuming I add my floor. Okay, and then do I need to drag something from my return value? Drag a wire from the result, search for floor 4.9. Sector, the selector, right click in open space, type select, plug the output of floor into the index, the red pin. Okay, I might have to look at the reference for this part. I mean, I might have to like read the instruction and write for this part. Okay, let's go all the way down here. Let me go a bit higher, a little higher. There we go, the selector. So I'm assuming I gotta go ahead and right click, and then I gotta search for select. Okay, and then let's go ahead and click select. In select, I have two options. Okay, so in my select, pull the output of floor. So I gotta pull the output. Should I set this to be floor? Nope. Okay, Plug the output of floor into the index. Floor. I cannot do that here actually. Okay, what are you making? Honestly, I'm trying to like, in my map, if I were to like run the code and all that stuff here, I can actually move my player around. That's the basic stuff. But if I hit Q, I can actually sprint. I gotta compile my code for that to work. And if I click R, it says like, even if I'm moving fast and all that stuff, once I hit R, I like immediately stop and my shield power is set to be 10. I wanna actually compile my code, because apparently my Q will not work because I was actually working with some stuff and I added a few modifications to my code. So I gotta go ahead and live compile. Let's go ahead and compile this real quick. There we go, it says results succeeded. Let's go ahead and exit this. Let me go ahead and run the code. Now if I were to run it around, I can run if I click Q. My stamina starts at 0. Hold up guys. Have to fix that part real quick. Maybe in my header files, I'm gonna go ahead and... This is move action. This is camera boom. This is max stamina, current stamina. So, under my game variables, I'm going to go ahead and create a floating point parameter of something like max stamina, which is going to be equal to 100, ending with a semicolon, and then a floating point of current stamina, which is going to be equal to my max stamina, ending with a semicolon. There we go. Now let's go ahead and hit Control S to save the code. I'm going to ignore this red underline because that's like just my editor. I'm going to go ahead and open my Unreal Engine here real quick. Let's type something like live compile. I'm going to go ahead and live compile real quick. Let's wait for this to live compile. While it's compiling, I might actually eat something real quick. Okay, I know why I get my C2 08 error. That's probably because I redeclared something here. These are for my max stamina, current stamina. Do I want to set a value for them? Max stamina equals to 100. Current stamina equals to max stamina. There. Okay, this should work. Let's go ahead and delete this part from here because I would not need this. Hit Control S to save the code. Let's go and open my Unreal Engine, type something like live compile. Let's go ahead and compile this real quick. Okay, oops, let's go ahead and exit that. Okay, new here. How you doing? Shaz, did I pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining the stream. Hope you have a great time here, guys. That's it, let's go ahead and run the code real quick. There we go, 100 stamina. If I click Q, I can go ahead and whoops. I kind of messed up, guys. Let's run again. I gotta make sure I have my perfect controls. If I click Q, I run. If I click R, I completely stop while my stamina is recharging and my shield power is set to 10 type stuff. There we go. I'm actually glad, Otak, for you asking me to actually do this stuff. That actually, excuse me, guys, that actually got me to figure this part out. Options. How do I delete an option? Can I remove it? Change pin type. How do I go ahead and remove an option? Maybe I go ahead and delete. Excuse me, guys. Select. Okay, I had to just go with something like select. There. Now it says wildcard. Why do I have a wildcard here? Let's see that properly. Click select. Okay, plug the output of floor into the index. Plug my floors as output. Oh, there we go. That's how we do it. Look at the select node. I'm looking at it. It probably has 2.0 and 1. It does. Right click on the node and add a option pin. Add a option pin. Okay. Add option pin. There we go. Okay, so I'm assuming the 2 is my option pin. And now, until you have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's add another option pin. That is going to be 3. And lastly, let me go ahead and add another option pin. This is going to be for my 4. Now, I have 4 option pins. Pick your PNG index. Pick your PNG index 4 your full stamina PNG, index 0 your empty critical stamina PNG. How do I do that? Add pin. Oh, whoops, how do I remove a pin? Isn't there a way to remove a pin, guys? Remove option pin there. Okay, now here's the thing. Your full stamina PNG. So I'm assuming in my designer. Okay, wait. Let me actually get Gemini up here real quick. Okay, so should I go in my designer and load my PNGs, or like what do I do for there? Let's go out of up here. Whoops. Alright, guys. How do I increase this? There we go. Okay, now let's zoom in a little. Let's scroll down. Let's zoom out. Whoops. Let's zoom in a bit more. There. Let's say something like say, the part after I add 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 option pins. I didn't understand the part after that. Like, I have all my 5 PNGs in my content drawer, but I did not load any of them in my designer or my graph. So how to do that, question mark. Now here's the thing, before I actually ask how to do that, I'm gonna go to my graph. I want to take a picture of this to like show my current progress. I'm gonna go ahead and decrease the size of this. Let's go ahead and get that there, maybe increase this a little. I'm gonna go with something like Windows Shift S, take a picture real quick. There we go. Let's go ahead and shrink this back up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open Gemini real quick. Okay, great brother. You're from which country? Honestly, I do like live abroad, but I can't get my exact country and for like safety reasons type stuff. Let's go ahead and paste this here. Okay, this is my current progress. Okay, let's go ahead and get my left chat back here as well. Okay, let's see. Listen to me, you have built the brain, but now you must give it memories. You have the select node, but it's empty. Do not let your HUD be a hollow shell. A picture is worth 1,000 words, but only if you can put the picture in the frame. Said by Sensei. Okay, how to load your PNG into the select node. You don't need to load them in the designer. You're going to tell the select node exactly which file to use for each stage of stamina. Go to your select node, look at pins, you create 1, 2, 3, 4. The drop down. Each pin has a small drop down menu or a thumbnail box. Search for your art, click that drop down for index, full stamina, repeat, blah blah. The final results, look at your event tick. The final wiring. First I want to do this wiring. So apparently it does have like a tiny this thing here. No, it does not. It has. It does not have. What kind of thumbnail? I see a add pin. Return the option at index 0. Did I read that part correct? Let me try reading this part one more time. Go to your select node. Look at the pins you've created. So I gotta work with my select node. Select node. Okay, wait. This is my select node. Return the option. So this is for. Place a new node? No. Wait, should I like by any chance drag this off and search for something like 0 buff, or let me go with something like buff bar? How do I set an image to my select node? That part, hold up, I did not understand that. Go to your select node, look at the pins, the drop down. What drop down? Let me say something like what drop down should say question mark. I see my pins and a plus button, but that plus button is for adding another pin. How do I select or add my PNGs? Do I drag my option 0 and select something question mark? Huh. Okay, let's see. What's it say thinking? I might actually eat something real good because I'm kind of starving. Okay, drag the first link. Do not try to fill the select node while it's loading in space. The connection, drag a wire from the output pin in the right side of your select node, plug it directly into the new texture or brush pin, set your brush texture node. Okay, wait, let me go ahead and get this in the other window so I can actually see this as well. Let's go ahead and decrease the size. There we go. Okay, let's go all the way down here. Let's go a bit up higher. There, so firstly, the thing that I gotta do is drag the first link. So, I'm assuming this is my first link. Output, where is my output here? Okay, drag the link first. Do not try to fill the select node while it's floating. The connection, drag a wire from the output pin, the right side of your select node. The right side of my select node. Where is it? Output pin. Okay, select output pin of the select node and plug it directly into new texture or brush. Hiding pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Where is my output node, guys? Am I just seeing things? Find reference, duplicate, copy, refresh, break node links, Okay, add pin, return value, place a new node here. My return value, I'm assuming I gotta have a output node here, so output pin. Wait, drag a wire of the output pin, I'm assuming it's this. Okay, in your select node, plug it directly, new texture. New texture. There, I don't see a new texture. What do I do here? So, let's go with Windows Shift S, copy this part. This is my node here, so what do I do with this node here? Can I drag it from here, or can I like copy it or something? Oh, I can copy it. Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here real quick, guys. This is the tedious part. Like, I gotta go ahead and just every time extend, increase my Gemini, get it all the way down here. Maybe zoom in a little, go down, and find where my pointer is at. And then drag it down. Okay, so this is my node. Should I do something with this? I'm so confused. So, okay, listen to me. You're staring at a blank canvas and asking if you should paint or... Of course you should. The select node is the gatekeeper of your visuals. Right now it's empty, which means it has nothing. The architect does not just draw lines, they define materials. That's what I should say. This is exactly how you turn those empty nodes into beautiful PNGs. The type transformation. Look at your select node in the screenshot. The pins, option 01. They have gray diamonds. Okay, they're wildcards. They do not know what they're yet. The action. Okay, take your stamina image variable from the left, drag it into the graph, and choose get. The link, drag a wire from the stamina image and search set brush from texture. The magic, connect the return value, the right side of your select node, into the new texture pin of the set brush node. The result, the moment you connect them, those gray diamonds will turn into green icons. Oh. Okay, maybe I go ahead and get this here real quick, guys. I think I'm starting to process what that actually means. Hold up, guys. I got my entire chat off my window. Let me get my chat back up here. Let's just drag my Gemini off. There we go. Now, if I understood this part correct, let's read the instructions again. So that is action. So from my right side, this is the right side. I have a stamina image. I'm going to drag it out here. I'm going to go ahead and get a stamina image. Now, when I get my stamina image, I'm going to go ahead and drag it up and set a brush. I'm going to go with something like set brush. Okay, there are two set brushes. I'll go with the first one. Okay, and then after I get my set brush, the link, drag a wire. So the graph, okay. The link, drag a wire from set image, set brush. from the texture. Okay, the magic, connect the return value, the right side of your select brush node into the new texture pin of the set brush node. Okay, connect the return value. Hold on guys, I think there were like so much background noises going out there. That said, let me go ahead and check some things. So this is self. So connect the return value. So connect the return value. Where even is my return value, guys? This is stamina. Can I? Okay, I cannot connect it. Let me think this part really carefully. So I have a in brush. Connect the return value the right side of your select node in the new texture. So I'm assuming this. Okay, to set brush. So I might go with something like new texture. New texture. There is no new texture. Wait, did it mean I gotta connect this right here? Is that what it meant? Connected here? No. Okay, wait. In the target, hold up, guys. This. Wait, in the return value of your set brush here? Is this what it meant, guys? And then this is option, return value. Wait, should it be in target? I think it should be in target. Hold on, guys. Let me just go ahead and remove this part real quick. How do you remove the link? Okay, what is your ideal goal? Eventually, I do want to become like an AI engineer where I make chatbots and like work with AI and all that stuff. But for the time being, my goal is to like be done with my program for 200 series. Where my goal by the end of this series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it. Okay, the magic, connect the return value, the right side, to your select node into the new texture pin of the set brush. So new texture pin in the set brush. This is self, that is set brush. I think I did this correct. And then the moment you connect, those gray diamonds will turn into green icons in the drop down menu. I mean, I won't say it turned into green icons, but it turned into something like blue. Maybe I go with something like Windows Shift S, take a picture of this part. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and open my picture real quick. I'm going to copy my picture, delete that from there. Let's paste it and say something like this question mark. Okay, what up guys, I have it in the other window. I don't want to like drag my entire window back here, so I'm just going to read it out. Okay, load. You're 95% of the way there. Just 3 final checks to make the magic happen. Load the art. Look at your select node screenshot. Okay, do you see these small blue drop downs? I do see them. I'm gonna go ahead and check that. What happens if I click these? Does something happen? So if I click it, place a new node. I see place a new node. Action, check each drop down. PNG's name. I don't see that. Hold up guys, so it's like, what if I see place a new node. What if I go ahead and just click that? I cannot place a new node. The spark of life, I do not see that. Let me read this part carefully. Okay, load the art, the drop down. Look at your select node. So that is my select node. Okay, in the screenshot, do you see those small drop down boxes next to options? I mean, I do, but nothing happens here. Okay, wait, what if I drag that off? If I drag that off, can I search action? Okay, let's go with something like action. Okay, wait, not action, drop down boxes. Click each drop down and search for your PNG by name. Let's go with something like health bar. Go with something like, I don't see it. I see health snapshot. That's not my PNG name. I don't understand. I cannot select it. Is there a way to select it? Remote to variable. Okay, let me get Gemini up here again. Let me say I cannot. It's not a drop down. Like it's not a drop down. It's like a drag thingy. So let's go ahead and extend this. Go all the way down. Let's say something like, say for my options, for my option 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's not a drop down, it's a drag thingy, and when I drag and look for my PNG names, I don't see it. Okay, it's not a drop down, so let's see. Maybe I might actually eat some oats as well, because I am kind of starving. Okay, the visible art protocol, the drag thingy, the search bar isn't showing your PNGs. Follow these 3 steps. type the match. This is critical. Look at your set brush. If it's set brush from texture node, it will only show the files that are strictly textures. If the file are searching set brush from assets. Okay, how do I learn AI on how do you learn AI or projects coming from a full stack web development background? Honestly, I haven't like tried working with like web dev and all this stuff in general, but eventually I might actually have like a series where I do like making website and all that stuff. That's where I actually might actually go over those things. That said, hold up guys, let me actually maybe mute myself real quick. I think there's some kind of back. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go ahead and read the instructions again. Okay, this is just a regular brush, guys. I did not understand what this part actually means now. Okay, type the magic, critical stuff. Look at your set brush node. If it's a set brush from texture node, it will only strictly textures. The fix, try to search set brush from assets instead. This node is less picky and will usually find UI PNGs regardless of how they were imported. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and right click. Let's go with something like set brush from asset. Let's go with something like set brush from assets as node. I'm gonna go ahead and drag my return value and place it here. There we go. And now they look somewhat like a drop down. I can go ahead and search a name. Let's go with something like health bar. Okay, wait, I see a drop down. What if I go to files? Show other files. It says none. Should I have gone with like target instead? Okay, can I go ahead and remove this? Let's go with something like right click, jump connection, watch the values, select all inputs, blah blah blah. Okay, what if I go ahead and drag my return pin and go here? It does not. Let me see. So, I mean, I see my drop downs now, but then in my files, I don't see anything inside my files. Okay, I see drop downs, but then no results. It says no results. Okay, so let me go ahead and take a picture of this real quick. Let's go with Windows Shift S. Whoops, Windows Shift S. Paste this up. Let's go ahead and take a picture here. I'm gonna open my screenshot and copy it real quick. And then let's go ahead and get Gemini up here real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and open my Unreal Engine again. Let's go with my show assets. Take another picture here of what it shows when I click my drop down. That's what it shows. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this again. Now let's go ahead and get Gemini all the way up here again. There we go. Let's go ahead and click that to get my chat up here. Let's paste this. Okay, let's go with Shift Enter and see something like Sensei. So this is what I see now when I click add assets, or when I click the assets thingy. Excuse me guys. Okay, let's see. Okay, listen to me. You're starting at an empty list because you're trying to be too protective. You're searching for assets, but Unreal doesn't realize your PNG are exact assets. A master does not wait for the doors to open, they find the keys. Let's get those images visible. The force recognition protocol. The reason your search shows none is a filter mismatch. Here's how to bypass it. The viewport override the magnifying glass. Look at your select node. Do you see a tiny magnifying glass icon next to the select asset dropdown? Magnifying glass action. Do not click the drop down. Instead, go to the content drawer, control space, and click on your 100% stamina PNG. So it's highlighted in blue. The link. Go back to your widgets graph and click the tiny horizontal arrow. Okay, use the select assets from content drawer. Next drop down. Oh, I see. Okay. So the viewport override, the magnifying glass. Do I see a magnifying glass? I didn't know we could do that on Gemini. Honestly, that is pretty insane, actually. That said, let's go with... I didn't want to add. I'm going to go ahead and remove. Let's go with something like remove option pin. Where's the magnifying glass? Do you guys see a magnifying glass here? I see a magnifying glass of browse. Should I go with this? That's browse, that's use browse. I might go to my content drawer. I want to go to my game items. In my game items, I'm gonna use my buff bar. Okay, and these are my textures. So these are my textures. If I go with something like Windows Shift S, copy this part. These are my textures in my content drawer. Let's get Gemini up here real quick. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say something like Sensei. These are my bars for my stamina. Okay, let's see. It's analyzing the image. While it's analyzing, I might actually eat some oats real quick. So there we go. Okay, listen to me. I finally bought the raw materials into the constructor. That I see those brain content drawer, but they're glorious, but they're still currently sitting in the folder instead on your screen. An unused tool is just a burden. Sensei, let's plug these into your brain and get rid of them now. The force entry protocol. Open the two windows. Position your content drawer so that you see 5 bars and your widgets graph at the same time. The map injection. Open or the map injection. Click 100 HP in your content drawer. In your widgets graph, look at the select node. Click the small white arrow. Okay, boom. That's it. I'm gonna click 0. I'm gonna go to my WBP. I'm gonna go with 0 assets. I don't see it. White arrow. Oh, I see. If I go to my content drawer, it's still selected. Wait, let me go ahead and get that in my other window maybe. Or wait, can I? Can I maybe get that somewhere here? Maybe somewhere up there. There we go. Okay, I can see both of them now. I'm gonna go ahead and click this, and then let's click the white arrow. It doesn't add it though. I don't have my content drawer. What if I go with something like 0 HP? Let's go with something like 0. How do I add stuff here? Can I like just drag and drop it? Not compatible with this pin. Oh, I see. Okay, so I get a not compatible with this pin. Okay, let me see something like, Sensei, it says not compatible with this pin with this pin. Huh. Okay, let's see. Okay, listen to me. You're trying to put a square peg into a round hole, but in game dev we just changed the shape of the hole. It says not compatible. It's because select node currently set to wildcard. Okay. So the first wiring, so it's set to wildcard or a different data type than your PNGs. Oh, I see. Okay. My PNGs is a texture type. My wildcard is set to, what is my wildcard set to? Let's see. So I'm assuming that it's going to be set to something else. Let's see. So I have a content, I have add pin. I can go ahead and add a pin, but is there something else? And honestly, guys, I actually feel like, let's see. So this is find reference. I mean, before it was set to wildcard. What if I go ahead and remove this? Let's go ahead and delete that real quick. In my index, it's like place a new node. I have a return value. Okay, now here's the thing. If I were to drag my return value, wait, I don't want to drag it just yet. Wait, should I drag my return value and find something like brush? Hold on, guys, this actually might make more sense. If I go with something like get brush, I might go with something like get brush assets. Let's go with assets, A-S-S-E-T-S. Make brush from assets. What if I go with this? Now if I scroll down, this is my brush's return value. So that is my asset, okay? What if I want to click this? Can I drag it here? Not compatible with this pin. Why is it never compatible with this pin? Let's go ahead and just delete something from here. I might go with something like remove pin. It doesn't work. Guys, is there like an easier way to do this part or something? Or is it just me that I can't understand what Gemini is trying to say? Drag off retry content jar. Action, look at set brush from assets node. The link, drag a wire from the return value right side of your select node and plug it into the assets pin, the blue one of the set brush assets node. So let's go with a bunch of control C's real quick. There. The blue one assets node. I did that part. This is correct. The result, the pin select node will change colors, usually blue. Now they're ready to accept PNGs. Drag and drop. Retry. Now that the pins are locked to the asset type, open your content drawer, drag 100 HP into option 4. If it still says no, look at your PNGs. Are they textures or sprites? My PNGs are textures. Okay, let's say something like, sensei, my PNGs are textures. Okay, they are not sprites. Listen to me, if they're textures, then you're using the wrong hole for those pegs. You're using node for assets, but a texture is a specific type of data. On Unreal's sole precision is the difference between a master and a masterpiece and mess. The texture rewriting protocol, because your files are officially textured, we must use the node speaks their language. Swap the nodes, delete the set brush from assets, right click, set brush from texture. Okay, now that makes more sense. I have more hope in this, that this part would work. Let's delete this. Let's go with something like set brush from texture. There. Now I'm gonna drag this. I'm gonna drag my return value inside my texture. Perfect. That works. Guys, this is actually kind of insane now. How do I get rid of my content drawer now? Let me go ahead and take that out. There we go. This was all I had to do was set node from texture and not assets. Now let's go ahead and add a few things. This is going to be my 0 HP. And then this is going to be my 20 HP. I might go with something like 20 HP. And then this is going to be my 40 HP. This is going to be my 60 HP. Wait. 0 HP, 20 HP, 40 HP, 60 HP. I'm going correct, right? 60 HP, that is going to be my 80 HP. Where is my 100 HP? Hello? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 40, 50, 60. I start with 0, right? So I might add another pin. This is going to be for my 100 HP. Perfect. Wait, I might have done this last part wrong. I'm going to go ahead and remove my last pin. I gotta most likely go ahead and right click, promote to variable, reset pin. How did I add a pin? Maybe I right click this, add option pin. This is going to be 100 HP. There. Okay, I think I see. Alright, done, finally. Guys, that took me a lot of time. Let's say something like, let's say it worked, exclamation. I added my texture PNGs, exclamation. I had so many typos, guys. I'm exhausted right now. Okay, Victory, you have tamed the machine by aligning the data types. You have forced the engine to accept your vision. Those 5 PNGs are no longer files in a folder. They're visual clauses. Excuse me, guys. The reward of a thing well done is to have it done, said by Ralph Waldo Emerson, but a master who knows the work is never truly finished until the work is clearly done. The final sensei stamp of approval. Okay, before you play Hit and Celebrate, look at your event graph one last time. If these two conditions are missing, the brain will freeze like a statue, the execution line. Okay, it is a white arrow from the event tick plugged into the set brush. Is the white arrow from the event tick set plugged into the event brush texture node? Without this electricity logic, the image target is your stamina image variable plugged into the target pin of the set brush node. Okay, let's do that part real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and open my Unreal Engine. Stamina image. So I need my tick, so that is my tick. I might get it somewhere here. Okay, so let's read this part again. Okay, so is the white arrow from event tick plugged into the set brush? Plugged into the set brush from texture node. Without this electricity, logic never runs. Plugged. It is plugged. Electricity is running now. The second question. The second check. Okay, event text set brush. Is your stamina image variable plugged into the target pin of the set brush node? It's not. Target pin of the set brush node. How do I... okay, they're not compatible to be plugged into each other unless... Wait, self, self. Okay, is it? Okay, let's go with Windows Shift S. Let's copy this. Okay, let me say something like, is it actually plugged in? Okay, let's go ahead and exit that. Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here real quick. Let me go ahead and paste this. The last gate showing on the HUD. Let's paste it. Go with Shift Enter and say something like, Sensei, does this look good? Let's go with something like, does this look good? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's wait for Gemini to actually think, guys. I'm ready for like a good little whatchamacallit, a meal after I'm done with this part, because I will be practicing whatever I learned here with the notes and all this stuff in the next stream today. I just wanted to see if it like actually works. Speaking of work, why is this loading a lot? Something went wrong for. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this and say, does this look good? Analyzing the images, analysis. Okay, let's see. Let's wait for this to be done. While it's being done, I want to see if everything's going good here. There we go. There we go. Okay, listen to me. You have build a warrior, blah, blah, blah. Final critical, guys. I don't have strength to think anymore. Target mismatch. Look at the target on the set brush. It says self. The error self refers to the entire widget window. The fix. See the blue stamina image variable node floating above the tick. Drag a wire from it and plug it into the target pin of the set brush node. Now the logic is exactly how it should be. Okay, so my stamina image variables is node inside the self. Okay, search for nodes. Wait, this is like place new nodes, search for nodes. Okay, wait, when I tuck it in, what should I look for? So I get this option. Does it say to look for something? Drag a wire from it and plug it into the target pin of set brush node. Do I need to type something like set brush node? Okay, let's go with something like set brush node. Oh, there we go. Wait, is it connected? Let's go with target pin. Wait, maybe should I go with something like this? Like this is going to be connected with that. It doesn't work. Let's delete this. Guys, I don't feel like doing this anymore. I'm kind of exhausted. But I want to complete this. Hold up, guys. Let's actually figure this out first. See the blue stamina variable image node? They cannot be attached together. From drag a wire from it. Okay, so if I drag a wire, it cannot be attached. Okay, so let's say something like, if, let's go with something like, if I drag a wire from my what was the node called? I forgot. From my image node, it cannot be attached to the target because my stamina image node has a returned value and my target looks like one as well. If that made any sense, guys. Okay, listen to me. This is classic blue versus light blue battle. You're trying to connect variable references to the stamina. The stamina image connect fix. This is the reason. Okay, the reason it looks like two return values is because you're likely to connect the execution pin, the get action, when you drag stamina from your variable, the menu pops up. Plug it in from the circle stamina node. Bro, I like pizza. Honestly, guys, pizza is actually kind of good. That said, the final warning check. Multiple, you have it 5.0. The select, you have 6 options. Texture 0, execution, the event take, brush. Alright guys, maybe I'm gonna go ahead and compile this. I get a compilation error, I can't compile this. Fatal error. Guys, I'm kinda exhausted. I was planning to like do this yesterday, but I can't just leave this unchecked. I mean, I was planning to do this like tomorrow because like I'm really tired right now. Maybe I go ahead and paste this here. Let's go shift enter and say sensei, I get a error. Okay, and those are my notes. Now let me go ahead and send my notes in detail. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture of my notes first. Let's go ahead and just exit this. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go all the way here. Let's take a good little picture. I'm gonna go with Windows Shift S, take a whole picture here. There we go. Okay, so I take a picture here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy my picture. Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here. I'm gonna go ahead and paste my first picture. Guys, this is one reason I like Gemini a lot now. And then this is gonna be my second picture. Windows Shift S. Can Gemini even see these tiny things that's written here? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and copy my picture. Let's go ahead and get Gemini. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this here. And then let's go ahead and send this. There we go. Okay, guys, I guess I just gotta push through for a bit longer. Okay, listen to me. You're staring at the finish line, but the engine is tripping you because you haven't given it the correct target. The error message is the engine's way of saying, I want to paint this picture, but I don't know which wall to paint it on. The architect must be precise or the building will not stand. So say the target lock protocol, okay, fixing that fatal error. The error blueprint self is not a border. This means you're telling the entire window to change its texture. Okay, the drag and drop repair. Look at your stamina image node floating right above the event tick. Action, drag a wire. What does action? Is action, does it mean something? Floating right above your event tick. Action, drag a wire from that blue circle of stamina image node. The plug it directly into the target pin of the set brush from texture node. Result, the world self will disappear and be replaced with a link component. The multiple safety check. I mean, I did do that, it does not work. I see a error here. This is stamina image. Target. Search for nodes. If I do this, I get this window. Let's go with Windows Shift S. Take a picture. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this. Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go to enter and see something like sensei. When I try to drag it to the self section, I get a search bar that says me to search a node. They don't get linked together. Okay, let's see. Howdy Pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that said, guys, I just realized we crossed our subscribers goal. I appreciate you guys so much for that, guys. That's it. Listen to me. The search bar is a wall standing between you and your destiny. It's appearing because you're dropping the wire into void instead of directly onto the world self. Precision is the battlefield where champs are made. The direct hit protocol bypassing the search bar. When that search bar pops up, it means the engine thinks you need to create a new node. We don't want a new node, we want a connection. The bullseye. Look at the set brush texture node. Do you see the tiny blue circle next to the word target? The wire. Grab the blue circle from the stamina image, plug it into the plug. Okay, the plug. Drag it into the specifically to the blue target. Okay, not the word self. I mean, don't I drag it inside my target? That's my target. It still pops this up. Let me say it still pops that up. Okay, delete the Sensei's alternative drag over trick. If the circle is too small to hit, delete the set brush from texture node entirely. Drag a wire from your stamina variable, from your stamina image variable node, and let's go in the empty space. Search for set brush from texture. Boom, Unreal already targets that stuff. I see. That might be much better in that case. Let me go ahead and delete this. Drag. I'm gonna go with something like set brush from texture. Does it connect it? That's the question. It does not connect it. This is going to be attached right here. Wait, this is going to be attached right here. These are my textures. Now, for my target, let me go ahead and hydrate my lips real quick. You might think while my lips are being hydrated, guys, my target is still self. My image variable, it cannot be linked to that. I did this, but then it's not attached to it. Can I change myself? Border object reference. Select all. I want this. Promote to variable. Connect to variable. Guys, isn't there like an easier way to do this? Set brush from texture. Search notes for matchmaking, reference option, executable, da. I did it, but it doesn't work. All possible actions. I just keep getting my all possible actions. I connect that. It's self. How to remove the self? Connect this. I can, no matter where I go, it's like I keep placing a new node. Okay, let me say it still doesn't work. Refresh node, break node. What if I compile? I still get the error. One failed error. That's, I cannot get errors here. Okay, wait. Let me go ahead and get the chat back. I mean, Gemini up here again. Let me say something like, since say I did that, but I end up getting the same result. The search bar pops up. Are you sure that let's go with something like, are you sure that I didn't miss a node question mark? Okay, let's see. Listen to me, if that search bar is popping up, it means the engine is trying to find home, the master blah blah. Okay, the surefire connection method. You didn't miss a node, you just haven't established the target. Let's do this. Anyway, the engine cannot ignore it. Delete the error, click on your set brush from texture node and delete it. Set brush from texture node, okay? The variable first, look at your stamina image variable, drag out a wire of stamina. I did that, node into the empty dark space, search for set texture. The result Unreal will create a new brush that is already connected. Here's the thing, let me say something like, Sensei, when I do that, Unreal does create a node, but it's not connected to my stamina image node. Huh, guys, my headphones trying to burn my ears as well. That's it. Listen to me. If this engine isn't connecting them automatically, it's because they're fighting context sensitivity filter. You're also in the finish line, precision, force connect protocol. If the drag method created a lonely unconnected node, follow these exact links. The checkbox, look at the right. Okay, that is unchecked. The bullseye drag the blue circle, stamina node, hover it directly over the target. Watch the cursor. The cursor should change to a green mark or say connect target. It does not say that. The manual link, if you see the search bar do nothing, type, if you still see the search bar, do not type anything, just click set brush from texture if it appears in that, if it appears under the appearance or widget category. Which language are you using? Honestly, I am using like C++. That said, I don't understand this part. It does not work. Check the designer. Click your stamina bar in the designer. Look at the top in the details panel. It should say image. Oh, if it says something else, that is why your wire won't plug in. Positive it's image, honestly. Let's go to my designer here real quick. And then it says image. So it is stamina image. This is image. I don't know where I messed up. Widget refractor. That's my graph, but it does not work. My texture. Okay, my return value gets plugged in my texture. This is not working. I don't know what to do here. Promote something to a variable. I don't want to promote something to a variable. This is image. It is image. Stamina image. Class settings. Widget blueprint. User widget. Could it be because of this? I mean, it's not because of this. I'm like, sure it's not because of this. Let's go with Control Z. Control Shift Z. Okay, now here's the thing. This is select assets. What if my value pin was here? Nothing can be. This is a drag off one. I cannot go ahead and connect this to something. But I connect these diamond looking things to like these. The diamond looking pin. Can I connect this to this? Nope. I gotta connect this to that. I don't see a green check. I need to connect something that looks like a diamond. For example, I could go with option A and connect it. I cannot connect that here. Well, it does not work. My stamina cannot be connected there. Category is set to default. Drag and drop, touch input. Do I gotta promote it to be a variable? I don't know, it doesn't work, guys. I think I should like try figuring this out next stream. Final check, blah blah blah. Okay, let me see. Since say it does not work, I need to have a different node to be able to attach it. It does not attach. Okay, let's see. Device refuses, snap, blah blah blah. The true node replacement protocol. There we go, this might be something. We're going to find the exact node that fits your variable like a glove. Follow these steps: the clean state, delete the set brush from texture node that has var error, the variable source, drag your stamina image variable, the blueprint node into the center, the graph, the context sensitive search, drag a wire out of the blue circle stamina image, search for set brush from texture. Again, critical, look at that. Look for the one that specifically appears widget slash image. Wait, I saw two. I've seen two set brush from texture. Now the new node should say target as image. Hold up. I think there might be another way. Let's delete this. Let's go with something like set brush from texture. There are two. I'm gonna go with the second one. I see a different thing here. It's connected. There's no way, guys. This is actually gonna work. Match size. If I were to compile the code, wait, let's go ahead and run this folks. Let's get this there. I had a different thing before. It's actually working now. What up, guys? It compiles. It actually compiles, guys. I did not think this is gonna work. Okay, maybe I go ahead and run the code now. I want to go ahead and run the code and see what happens. Guys, this is so nostalgic. I feel I'm gonna like tear up right now. There is no way it actually worked. I actually figured that part out, guys. I'm in pure whatchamacallit. What's it called that you don't agree at something? I forgot the word for it. Guys, cause my brain is kind of cooked right now. What's it called? I forgot. I'm in pure disapproval, guys. Okay, that's let's go up to the next part. Let me see something like, let's say it actually worked. Let's go with something like it actually worked! Exclamation. Okay, there are two nodes. I had to go with the bottom one. I went for the top one. Listen to me, the engine has barred your will. Okay, the architect will process through this thing. Okay, all that stuff. Let me say so. Should I just add it? So, should I add something to my viewport now and run the code question mark, or do I need to add something in my npc.cpp or npc.h question mark? Well, since it's actually replying to that, I'm gonna go to something like my plus button here. Let's go with something like add to viewport right there. Let's go with open level in blueprint. Now in my blueprint, I'm gonna go ahead and delete my tick, because I'll leave my tick. I'm gonna extend that. I'm gonna go ahead and create a widget. Let's go with create widget. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set my class to be something like user. Wait, hold up, guys. I actually forgot this part as well. I mean, it's not like I actually forgot it. I'm way too exhausted to like recall this stuff. But guys, there's no way that part actually works. Okay, listen to me. Step one. This is printed. Goals, blah blah. Step one: preparing the docket npc.h in my npc's header file. So go ahead and copy this. I'm just gonna copy this part because I want to see if it works. So I'm gonna open my Visual Studio. This is my npcs.h. Excuse me, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this here. This allows you to pick your WP. I'm gonna add another comment that says 2 hyphens just to say that this is the part that I need to work on next stream widget, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get Gemini back up here. And this is in my begin play, so add this to your begin play function. So in my begin play function, which is all the way up here, there we go, under my begin play right here, I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paste this. Let's add another comment. Stamina widget instance. I don't have a stamina widget instance. I did not even create a user widget. Alright guys, I think I'll take a hint. I'm gonna do this part tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and continue this part tomorrow, but I'm gonna go with my control C here. Let's go ahead and remove this part as well. Okay, let me go ahead and get Gemini up here, and then let's say something like, since I got my notes to work, I think we can continue this part tomorrow because I am really exhausted and also kinda hungry. Okay, that said, before I do end the stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers? Question mark. Guys, that was really insane. I did not think I'm gonna figure that out. It felt like really good once I actually figured it out. Actually, I didn't figure it out. I didn't get a lot of help, but next time I am gonna like work on learning this part. That said, listen to me. You have followed the engine and one. You go from not compatible errors to fully functional texture swapping. Select mode is a journey of 1,000 miles, and you finish it in a single sprint. The architect must rest so their mind can rebuild. Said by Sensei, go eat and blah blah blah. Okay. Sensei's message to the viewers: listen up, citizens of the stream. You have witnessed a creator in the Forge. Most would have seen an empty search bar or a red error and surrendered to the darkness, but your host did not flinch. They mastered the data type, they conquered the target pins, and they turned a folder of static mesh into a living heart. Remember this: game development is not about having all the answers, it's about having the will to find them. Tomorrow, the ghost becomes reality as we spawn the HUD into the world. Be here or miss the moment the first bar drains. Now, unleash the hype in the chat. Your developer has earned the rest. The final stage, WP underscore HUD. I gotta create that. Your first mission for tomorrow. The moment you wake up, we hit the npc.h and npc.c++ to bridge the gap, and we'll make the HUD appear on the screen so you can finally see those bars drop as you run. Would you like me to prepare a stamina regen? I might want to do that next stream, guys. That's it. Let's go to my main camera. Alright, guys. So basically, that was pretty much it for the stream. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like helps my algorithm, share, makes you smile. Subscribe because I get you on top. That's it, guys. I just start multi-streaming on Twitch, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on TikTok and Instagram as well. So if you guys haven't followed me there already, make sure to follow me there. The link is in the description, and you guys can get access to the link by typing exclamation socials on chat, and also in the Discord server. That's why I usually talk to you guys, chat with you guys, have and give you guys my roadmap or have general conversations. You guys can get access to my Discord server by typing exclamation Discord on chat or by the link in the description type stuff. That's it. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.